I'd like to call the Board of Review to order. You all stand and pledge allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. Roll call by clerk.
Here. Clark. Here. Ermeling.
Here.
Lobes-Sirao.
Here.
Maloney.
Here.
Olson.
Here.
Sagami.
Here. Okay, thank you. And at this time, I'd like to adjourn the Board of Review to June 15th, 2026. I need a motion.
I second.
I need your, is that your first one? I can do the first one. I'll make the motion to adjourn the Board of Review to June 15th, 2026. Second by Ermeling. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you. Now call the Board of Trustees meeting called to order. The Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, please. You all stand. Can't say it enough. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all again. And once again, could we have a roll call?
Maloney.
Here.
Lobes-Sirao.
Here.
Beck. Here. Clark. Ermeling.
Here.
Olson.
Here.
Sagami.
Thank you. This time we have public comments. I have a note here from Jim Pitznault. Jim?
Good evening, Jim Pitznault, 502 Arrow Street. There's action this evening on the agenda, number 6869, to hire 2 outside engineering consultants for project oversight of public works. The estimated cost is $108,000. I see this as irresponsible at best that we continue paying for outside contractors for oversight. Let's face it, we're not going to stop building, maintaining, or improving our infrastructure anytime soon. The addition of Mr. Dolan to the village staff was a phenomenal move. We need at least one more person to do this. I know there has been a vacancy and a new engineering technician position role created for quite some time. Why has it not yet been filled? I've heard nothing at the Finance and Human Resources meetings about not being able to fill these positions due to any particular reason. Our administrator needs to take accountability to fill these roles. The need was identified, the job duties were determined, and the dollars were approved by the board. Why is there no one in this role yet? What barriers have you come across that are so grotesque and secret that they cannot be shared with the board or the Human Resources Committee? Also tonight on the agenda is appointments to committees and commissions, number 54. Speaking of that, it's literally published in the Safer Meeting Minutes, number 20 on the agenda, that Lisa Beck was introduced at the April Fire Department meeting as the newest safer board member. She wasn't even appointed yet. In fact, she wasn't even in office. This is just yet another example of inappropriate government business taking action outside of this boardroom. The discussion for appointment to that body should take place right here. The decision to solidify that appointment should also take place right here in this room. Stop with the phone calls, text messages, and other outside communications. Please just respect our citizens enough to have that conversation here. Yet again, you'll see on the agenda, not a single attachment in the packet for the appointment to committees and commissions, because the conversation took place in private and not in the boardroom. We need to do that right here, in this room, in public, in the open. That's the reason for an open public meeting. Stop with the secret stuff. And speaking of secrets, how sad is it that there was no information on Kennedy Park in the packet? I witnessed the discussion on how new and current board members cannot follow along with the funding timeline and the timeline for this project. They specifically asked for staff to bring back to this meeting a more detailed report. It doesn't exist. Staff, can we please break out the crayons, put all the information in one place in one easy to understand format so that officials and residents do not have to sift through years of meeting minutes, post-it notes, emails, text messages from multiple places just to find out where we are. Extremely disappointing, but continues with the lack of accountability that the administrator is held to here. She is the only employee of this board. It is your job as a board to hold her accountable. The last board certainly didn't.
All right, moving on. Public hearing. Public hearing and consideration of ordinance number 26-010 and resolution 2026-015 to amend park and recreation impact fees. Open the public hearing, presentation by staff.
All right, tonight the board is holding a public hearing on a proposed amendment to chapter 74 of the village's subdivision regulations to update the park and recreation impact fees charged on new residential development. The proposed amendment would increase the current fees from $300 per single-family unit and $250 per duplex and multi-family unit to $761 for single-family units, $563 for duplex units, and $495 for multi-family units, consistent with the recommendations of the village's adopted 2022 Public Facilities Needs Assessment. This item was originally reviewed by the Plan Commission, which directed staff to compare fees with neighboring communities. Staff also presented the findings to the Park and Recreation Committee, and both committees recommended increasing the fees to this board to better align with surrounding municipalities, maintain reasonable proportionality with development impacts, and provide sustainable funding for future park and recreation improvements generated by community growth. The purpose of this amendment is to ensure the village fee structure remains consistent with state impact fee requirements, supports future capital park improvements, and reduces long-term reliance on the general fund for growth-related recreational infrastructure.
Thank you. And that's it. Public comment. Any public comment?
Sure, I'll give public comment.
Go ahead.
Good evening, Jim Pensel, 5002 Arrow Street. So in regard to the increase in impact fees, I think it would be extremely beneficial for this body here to actually have real numbers of what it takes to maintain our parks. We don't have that. I've asked for that for a long time. And to know that, hey, it takes 23 man hours to cut our parks. It takes equipment number 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, and 14, 15, 16 to cut our parks. It takes X amount of fuel. It takes X amount of whichever. We don't have that. None of that exists. It's just we cut the grass when it's long, and it takes however long it takes to get done. We strike it when it needs to be striped. Right now, we're just raising, and I get it, a loaf of bread isn't a nickel anymore, and stuff is increasing in cost, but we're just throwing a number out there. There is no justification for this number. It falls in that range, but is it enough? Is it too much? We don't know. It's more than it was. Is it similar to other municipalities and in line with the study that was done years ago? Sure. But we have no real solid data. We're just flying by the seat of our pants here, and I think that's an irresponsible decision. Thank you.
Okay. Any more public comment? Anybody online?
We do have several individuals online. No one has come off of mute.
Okay. And last, any more public comment? Okay, any comment by trustees? We've already gone through this.
Well, I guess,
Mhm.
we've had this type of fee for many years.
Mhm.
And I know other municipalities have been more than what we were, correct?
Mhm.
Correct, yes.
Correct.
I thought, that's what I read.
Okay.
All right. All right. Lisa isn't there to tell me to.
She's got a better
I know,
voice. She's got a
usually
good
it's me,
voice.
but just right.
Anyway, I just feel that this is a justified fee. As we are bringing more families in, we have to have more park equipment or more park space. I think at one point in time, we used to get dedication of land for parks, if I'm not mistaken. I guess, you know, it's as we get, I've been here a long time and I have seen where the need for parks and everything because of our population increase has increased. And I think as the new homes come in, it's only fair that they pay for some of those costs. I've been paying for it for a lot of years.
I mean, discussion and action by trustees was after I closed the public comments, so sorry.
Oh.
I just want to make sure we got all the different things, because one of the, in the prior public hearing, I forgot and missed the public comments, so I got that. So why don't we close the public hearing? And now E, discussion and action by trustees. So Barb, you went already. Anybody else?
It's a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When was the last time you made the adjustment to the,
2022, when the actual public needs assessment was done, facility assessment. And that study looked at all the operations of the park. And that was all factored in. And it also dealt with what our population was back then. So it was a pretty extensive study that was done. It actually was completed, I believe in 20 or 21, and then had to be rewritten because the Plan Commission at the time went a different direction with it. So at the time, and in the documentation, we actually could go a lot higher. It was like $1,000, $1,097, I believe, for a single family, and that was in 2022. So if we reran the study today, it'd probably be quite a bit higher.
There you go.
The communities that we looked at around that area have not completed a study, and they've not changed their numbers, which are in line with what we're asking for right now, since 2016, 2017. So we're looking at their study. We thought ours was okay now. We didn't want to spend the money and go through the process. We've got a comprehensive plan project to do, and we can look at this in the coming years again if we need to. But right now, we've got more development happening, residential development, and these developments are having some parks and rec amenities added into them. So the village is going to have some type of a cost in order to get some of these paths connecting and things like that. So it'll be helpful to have a little bit more money from that development, because they're actually going to be, you know, highlighting these in their, one, they're trying to sell their lots that, you know, Granite Ridge will be able to connect to Robinwood Park because we'll have a path there.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
have one more question.
go ahead.
For our director. What kind of fuel you using on those engines?
For our mowers, diesel. We have two gas ones, but our main mowers are all diesel.
I'm just looking at the price, that's what I asked that question.
Well, I'm sure you're putting premium in the other mowers too, right?
Yeah, I mean, any small engine you wanna run premium fuel on it, so.
Okay.
Is that premium or because Quick Trip,
No,
they have two different, is a premium, if you don't use it, but they have a special fuel for small
For
engine.
diesel or for gas?
Yes.
Yes, you have to use a minimum of, with no ethanol in it, so whatever has no ethanol in it is what we use.
So like over 94. Yeah.
Over 91.
Yeah, over 91 it is? Okay. Okay. Any more? So on one, ordinance number 26-010, an ordinance amending section 74.9.4, parent 3, park and recreation impact fee. Need a motion? Okay, better, Brett? I asked for a motion. Yeah, okay. Mhm.
I move to approve ordinance number 26-010, an ordinance amending section 74.9.04, sub 3, park and recreation impact fee.
Motion by Lopes Sorrow,
Second.
second by Zagami. Any more on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Number two, resolution 2026-015, a resolution amending the village fee schedule. I'll need a motion. Motion by Ermeling, second by Clark. Any more on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Minutes from previous meetings. Number 9, approval of April 13th, 2026, special board of trustees meeting, and number 10, approval of April 21st, 2026 board of trustees meeting. I need a motion.
Approve 9 and 10.
Move to approve by Zagami, 9 and 10 on the
I'll
minute.
second.
Second by Beck. Any more on discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Acknowledge reports, minutes from boards, committees, and commissions. We've got 12, we've got, excuse me, I just want to make a comment on 13. Never should Everest Metro Police and Mountain Bay Metro Police Department be on the same line or together for any reason. They're two complete different entities and they should not ever be together. Okay, so I just want to make that a note for the future. So, and this looks like it's all Mountain Bay Metro, so Everest Metro Police should have never been put on this. So that needs to be corrected. So 13 is Mountain Bay Metro Police, excuse me, it's just B, Mountain Bay Metro Oversight Board 3/12/2026. 15 Finance and Human Resources, 17 Parks and Rec, 18 Plan Commission, 19 Public Works, 20 Safer A and B, Safer Fire Commission 414, and B Safer Board 414, Tourism Commission, and the rest, no. So that's what we're looking for. Any more? No?
Yeah, my only question is,
Yeah.
were we gonna have a brief, like 30-second report from those that had those committees or no? We
Sure,
talked about
we
that
can do, we
last
talked about
meeting?
that last time. We'll put it on the agenda next time.
Okay.
It's listed as number 23.
Uh,
City chair updates.
Hey, awesome
Oh,
sauce.
there you
Ah,
go.
I didn't see that either. Yeah, I
That
didn't see it
snuck in
either.
there.
Yeah. Okay, that's super. So we can do that. Why don't we acknowledge why don't we talk about them too? Why don't we go through? So you have anything to talk about parks, Katrina? I know it's kind of a quick hit on everybody, but.
We got the mats installed at Yellow Banks, right?
Mhm.
So that's exciting. Cut down a couple trees that were in the river.
Should we do that?
Actually, there was a contractor that used a skidder to pull the
Oh, okay.
trees out of the river.
Okay. I thought you had to talk to DNR, so.
Not if they're in the river, you can pull them to the bank.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, cutting is allowed,
Mhm.
and if you see the cutting regulations along the river, like, we can cut it at the shoreline without getting permission from the adjoining property owner, but if you actually go onto their property, then you need their permission actually to do that. These were completely just laying in the river, rip balls and all.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Any more? No? Hushain, Public Works?
You have a couple contract coming up, one for crashing the recycled asphalt,
Mm.
which is the contract goes to King.
Mhm.
I think surprising things, there is only 2 cents difference in the cost per cubic yard. And then also we have a couple contract for the inspections
Okay,
projects.
sounds good. Barb, tourism?
Okay, right, I was looking at,
Yeah, we don't,
Finance.
yeah, no, that's fine.
we had, several applications for, I want to bring this up so I don't miss. We had applications from, several different organizations. We had the grant for Gigi's, and we, appropriated, 2,500 for that. We also had a request from Wasamung Festival, and we gave them 10,000. And then we had a grant from Wisconsin Valley Fair. That one we questioned a little bit, and we offered them the $5,000. And then we had post reports from the Wisconsin High School Bowling, which was a very good report. Lots of participation. We did again mention to the different applicants that in the future, we had also the Mountain Bay Cup, I'm sorry. And they were given 5,000. That in the future, because some of these, it was a first time things that they needed to provide us with hotel accommodations and such, because it was difficult to give them money if we don't have some idea that it is benefiting our motels.
Okay. Luis? Let's go outside the inside, sorry.
All works.
All right.
For where?
For planning?
I missed.
He was gone
Oh,
for
you
the
were gone.
planning.
All right.
Shang took care of planning. and-
Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brent?
For finance, we had right before this meeting, very short agenda tonight, which was kind of nice. We learned a lot from Pam about the clerk's department, going through some of the actual costs of elections and newsletters and some of those numbers and kind of what they break down to. So nothing other than that.
He's up.
My turn. Discussion more on the nuisances, the e-bicycle. I know we're still making changes to, talked quite a bit about parking regulations for overnight parking. I think that was still in discussion. There was a request for additional crosswalk over, was it Alderson, over by, between DC Everest and Mount Olive, and I think we're going back to Mount Olive with some questions on that one. Food vendor license, I know that was in discussion, and I think some the raise order and some addressing changes. So it was a pretty fast meeting, but with only 3 or 4 people. So I think we have some applications coming up to talk about.
Good. Just a real quick on tourism, what were the chair, vice chair and treasurer?
Okay, I was elected chair by Boucher, vice chair.
Vice?
Yeah, and, Odell was secretary.
Okay, good. Thank you. I've got a couple here. So tourism there, the MPD joint finance met and it was discussed between the 3 communities, Schofield and Town of Weston and the Village of Weston, to leave the joint finance committee intact. We've got some proceedings that are coming up in the next 12 to 18 months. But we did vote to how do you say, terminate the monies or give the monies back to the 3 communities. So that'll be happening shortly. We're just waiting for the minutes so that we can send the minutes along with what's a better word to disperse the monies. So there you go. Okay, so that'll be shared as soon as we get all that back with the board. And then Safer had a meeting last week, and it was primarily closed session regarding negotiations, and then some updates on some new staffing, and some new reporting, the way that they're doing that. So that I thought it was a pretty good meeting. So good stuff. And while we're there, we had a car drive into a florist shop while the meeting was happening. So a little while. So that's it. All right, I think that'll be good. That'll be a nice report there. So now back on 12 through all the way down to 21 tourism, we need to acknowledge the reports and minutes. Almost. Motion to acknowledge reports and minutes from Olson.
I'll second.
Second by Beck. Any more in the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Acknowledge reports from departments. 24 administrator.
I don't have anything to add from what was in the packet.
Any questions?
Yeah, there was some notes about that you meet about the bike and pedestrian plan twice a week. What kind of stuff do we talk about it? Thanks.
We meet every other week just as where we're at with the plan. Are there things that they still need from us? Are there things that we need from them? The last one we talked about the upcoming open house on the 11th. We have, if we start getting draft chapters, just that we're looking through it, it's just staff with the consultant to make sure we're on track.
Okay.
Those are virtual.
No, I think that's it for now.
Okay. All right. Thank you. 25 clerk. Any more you want to add?
Unless someone has questions.
Okay.
No, but your report at the finance meeting was really cool.
Mhm.
I think you did a great job.
Okay, that's nice. I mean, no cupcakes or nothing, but it's a great report. 26, finance, Jessica.
I just want to point out that my item of special note, we paid an additional $10,000 for the month of April for a fuel surcharge for the refuse recycling. It's per our contract, so it's no big surprise, but I also want to say this is why we do have fund balance. I know last year we got some heat with the fund balance that we have in that fund. We can probably survive for the year. Hopefully it's not 10,000 every month, but
Right.
that is why fund balance is necessary in all the accounting that we do, because you never know when something like this is gonna come across.
Okay, any questions?
I just have 2 quick questions. I always have questions. You
Okay.
should know better.
That's right.
TIF 1 is closed and unearned means no?
We are continuing to, so
Get
there's
the-
we still have debt to pay. October 1st is our
Correct.
large $9 million debt payment. We need to call the CDA to order in order to have a resolution to call the debt. Then we need to work with Ellers, they'll draft a letter to send to Associated Trust to call the debt after the approval of the CDA to do that. So we got some stuff to do.
Okay.
We don't have the money to pay it, so we're really not,
Because August settlement, we do have but we have to,
Yes.
we have to wait for August
we're
settlement through
waiting
the
for
tax.
the August settlement. We need about 2 million is receivable in that fund for August settlement yet, so we are waiting for those funds in order to have enough funds to pay.
Okay, and then the only other question I had, and I don't remember what page in the packet it was on, but I figured you would tell me. It said Kennedy Park, budget 0, actual 86. What what was that for? Do we know? $86,689.
Oh, actual? You said?
Yeah, no, that was, yeah, that was actual. Do we know what that was for?
Community Park,
Kennedy Park?
Community Park.
I think it was on page 149.
Was it a contribution?
I don't
Because what
know.
was it, 84,000 or 86,000?
86,000.
Contributed by a group? No?
This
That's what I said.
86,6. Yeah.
Oh. So just, okay, I can find it. You know what we paid for Kennedy Park? Okay, I can find it,
Okay,
but I don't.
cool.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, thank you. 27, fire chief?
Sorry, no, I don't have anything to add.
Okay.
Just if anybody's got any questions, I can certainly answer.
For chief? Oh,
No questions?
you said you, I'm supposed to know that you always have a question, so.
Oh,
Yeah,
voice
okay.
guy. I don't. Thank you, chief.
All right. 28, Parks and Rec. Anything for Sean?
Did have a report in the packet. Really now, big push, is getting the aquatic center up and running. We will start filling probably next Tuesday. And then we have training and rentals. Rentals start on June 3rd. Opening day is June 6th. But we'll have staff training. So yeah, just getting everything ready to go with that.
Sounds good. Any questions? Okay, plan development, Jen?
I have an update. I had a wrong date for the electronics drive. I had the original date. So it is June 6th instead of May 20th. And then I just want to bring up the couple items I had of special note in my report, just so everyone's aware. We were contacted by Ringel to see if we could help them with their building inspections for the homes that were damaged, not the new homes. So we will be looking at putting together an intergovernmental service agreement to give to their board, because we would have to be considered contracted service for them in order for it to be legal for Roman and Travis to assist. So they contacted us because they're having some issues. They don't really have anything in place for their homes that are, there's varying degrees of damage out there. And they want to make sure that the residents have safe homes, 20, 30 years into the future. So we'll be bringing something back there, but I just wanted you to know that we were contacted about that. And if anyone has any thoughts, they are looking at getting some money from the community foundation to assist with it. So, but we do have a schedule that we use. I don't know if we're willing to give a discount, just that's something for you guys to think about.
That'll come back to us, yeah.
Or we'll bring something. The comprehensive plan survey is closed. And we will be working on putting those results together, and we have scheduled the first meeting of the steering committee for Monday, June 1st at 6 o'clock. The Plan Commission wanted it at 6. So it's a joint meeting between you guys with the Plan Commission. So mark your calendars. I will send something out after tonight if everyone could do that date. And it's June 1st.
June 1st.
So it's the off Monday that we don't have clips.
Okay, thank you. It's, not that I want anybody else to drive out there and block and stuff, but that's quite an event out there. That brush pile is, oh my lord. Yeah, unbelievable. Thank God it's so close that they could just, would spend all that transportation time. And Valerie, just so you know, I did go to one of the big bulk autumn drop off, and then I on the left at Arrow Bar, and I followed that, the sign said X amount of miles, and it was correct on my mileage. So I thought that was pretty neat.
I think that's all done, yeah.
If anybody else does that, I just want to let you know I did that, so. Kind of weird, my wife thought I was nuts, so. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, let's see, so, back on here, any more, Jen? No, any questions for Jen?
Anyone has any questions?
Okay. 19, Public Works, Michael.
No, you missed police. Front,
Right over him, number 30.
number 30.
Oh, wow, I was up here. I was up in acknowledge, yeah. I'm sorry, and I
We're
mean,
keeping
how
you
do
in
I miss,
line.
how do I miss Chief Hunt? My lord.
Okay.
Chief Hunt, my gosh. I stand corrected. Yeah.
We just have our monthly calls in the packet here. So we had 2,206 calls for the month. A couple notes in here. We had 50 traffic crashes, and 7 OWIs in there. So everything's pretty much running month to month. The calls for service are really close every month. So far we haven't seen peaks. But if there's any questions for me.
Yes, Katrina?
I kind of off topic, but in the news, we've been seeing a lot about seniors playing a game called Senior Assassins in other communities, and some very bad events have happened, or near bad events, because people. So Senior Assassin, if anybody doesn't know, is a game seniors play. Okay, so my 3 seniors all just went through school and they played this game until they.
Seniors.
Oh,
I thought it was me. I thought you were talking about me.
No, I think
So
it's high school.
Yeah, high school seniors, okay.
They're playing this
Yeah.
game, and it's essentially, you're supposed to take the person and get them out, but they're using water guns, which sometimes look like real guns. And in other communities, it's been that people see these kids running around outside often at night, trying to get their target, and police are called. And so I'm just curious if, like, so when my boys were in school, it was not allowed. Is that still the case? Like, I mean, is it affecting our community? Like
You
it is
asked the
other?
question on a great night. So Captain Trump is here and he just came out of the school and he can probably answer on that if it's still happening. I have not heard of any complaints within.
Still happening, then it was happening?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it, but
I
It's
saw
happening?
it last year.
but Greg can, if you let him
I've
speak.
heard, I don't know for sure, but I did hear that Everest was involved in that. But it got to the point where it was becoming an issue and then it was dissolved at.
Okay,
Fort
good.
Dam. So that's all I know.
They
Didn't
still
somebody hide
play.
in your car last year?
Yeah, he was caught. They drove all the way out to our house in Knowlton at like 5:30 in the morning. Scared him in the back of the car. Yeah. That's how he was.
Oh, my word.
No.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I thought it was like seniors. I'm like, now, high school seniors, yes, it's a thing.
Well, I was gonna start watching my neighbor, so, yeah.
You other questions for me?
Yeah, any more questions for Chief Hunt? No? Good, thank you. All right, Public Works, Michael.
I guess, yeah, last week or starting this week, we'll have other warranty work happening on our streets. So last week, Weston Avenue was shut down through traffic. About 4 spots where the pavement had been settling, so integrity was back, taking care of those areas. There's curb to get poured back and asphalt that has to get repaved yet. And then there'll be similar things happening on Fuller and Schofield Ave yet, this late spring, early summer. That's all warranty work. It's not anything that's extra cost to the village. It's, the product they delivered didn't meet, our expectations, so they're coming back to redo it. And I guess, yeah, we are looking for a engineering tech. We've had that position advertised a couple times. It is a very specific skill set that, I guess we are looking for. Even some of the consulting firms we utilize don't have local people who always perform that task, and they're pulling from other offices they have down in the southeast area part of the state. So even one of our local firms just lost 2 employees to relocation to the southern part of the state. So I think a lot of it is just the workforce for that type of role isn't abundant here in central Wisconsin right now. And
So you named, Weston Avenue, you named Delmer, right? Or no, not Delmer. Fuller, yeah, so Fuller's gonna get in there, look, see, because there's people, I have not seen it in the neighborhoods, north of the Quick Trip on Camp Phillips there, I never can remember that name.
Crestwood Acres?
Yeah, Crestwood Acres, so, but on Fuller, often I see cars not parking on the road, but parking on that grass area. You know, the mountable curb, and then they just sit there, you know, between the sidewalk and that mountable curb. Is that something, you know, that, I mean, you can't do that on a curbed area, you wouldn't jump a curb and sit up on the grass there.
Yeah.
It's just odd. I saw another one today and I don't know if you've been seeing that a lot too, so just a thought.
In Hinter Springs, they do that quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. Oh, here, yeah, sure they would, multiple curbs, sure.
Yeah.
And then that one sign dividing, going from Sandy Lane.
Yeah, I heard that got hit again.
Oh, my lord. Just put a spring on it. Just have it go
Would
like this.
say that again?
The little dividing arrow that says to go to the right on the roundabout. It got hit again. It's just laying there. But I mean, there's like 27 signs for that roundabout, so. But anyway, yeah.
Okay, I had a question. Now, if we hire a new engineer tech, would that eliminate the outside firms?
To a certain extent, yeah. I
But
guess
we
that's the
still
hope.
have
We
some.
still have another project or two yet this summer, and if we hire a person, we don't have to hire an outside firm for those jobs. So the action today is really for the two projects that are looking to start in June, so.
And then the other thing is on Weston Avenue. I don't know if you noticed, were the two projects from last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, by Von
Last
Kennel.
year's, where it kind of, it's,
Yeah, that'll get cut out too.
okay, I was just wondering if you were, because that one I always go, oh. this is kind of-
Then are we gonna settle? Do we have an answer on the speed limit yet?
I think so, and then things got under construction, so but the last, so the speed limit issue came up a couple board meetings ago. And it was directed to keep it at 45, and in talking with the DOT, the engineering study we had on file said it was a 35-mile-an-hour road. So I went back to the engineering designer to see if they would allow it to be a 45-mile-an-hour road. They were not. Yeah, so they weren't comfortable at the time saying 45. So the way we could verify and kind of get ourselves out of any liability issues would be to do a speed study, which I did get some traffic data that would be sufficient. That showed the 85th percentile speed was 45. So ideally, they said you should do at least twice. And then last week I was gonna get the rest, and it was under construction. I didn't think that would be a good representative of the data, but if the 85th percentile shows it's 45, then we have a study that I guess I, as the village engineer, would be able to sign off on and say, we're okay.
Or 40.
Or 40. I mean, if that's where we want to go.
Sure.
It was interesting. It seemed like the majority of traffic was traveling between 44 and 50 miles per hour. One vehicle was under 35 miles an hour. The rest were above.
A bike?
It's
No,
probably
this
me
is
driving.
Yeah.
I'm trying to save money on my gas mileage.
I definitely wasn't on that road if it was under 50. Okay.
On that, Mark, too, I just had note, I had a resident ask me that same question because it's been a little over 2 months since the
Yeah.
board said that was
Yeah.
supposed to change. So right now that speed is inconsistent with our ordinance, so.
Okay.
The number of issues that can cause obviously, so.
Okay.
Just as a note.
Sounds good. That's it. Any more for Mike?
I have
Christina? Jeff?
We got a grant for Birch Street recently, between Schofield and Community Center Drive. And you have on the note that the project is gonna move from a 28 to a 27,
Probably a 29 to
or
a 20.
29 to 28, right?
Yeah.
So my question for you is just because I'm new and trying to understand how the finances work. What, we got the grant, is there a time frame in which we have to spend it and that's why we're moving the project up, or how do you manage that?
Yeah, so usually there's a sunset time period where if you don't use the money, you lose it.
Okay,
And then also since we have a project with funding, we generally try to move that up to a reasonable time frame so that we delay, and hopefully if we swap it out with another project, we can get a grant for that project we move back out, so.
okay. And then, maybe unrelated, I don't know, there've been tracking wires, like the wires that go across the street that we drive over. What are those for, do you know?
The DOT does traffic counts annually.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
They're everywhere.
Yes.
They're everywhere. I mean, Wausau, everywhere, Rothschild.
yeah, and it's used to update the traffic model through the state and then also classifies our roads as collectors or arterials or a local road. And for like the surface transportation program, urban, that the state allows grant funding for, your road has to be classified as a collector or arterial. So those traffic counts are there to help us claim that, yes, this road does meet a threshold of traffic to make it eligible. And if you're ever curious, you can go just Google Wisconsin DOT traffic counts. There's a map, you can click on it, you can see all the
That's cool.
historical data on that too.
So if I stop and reverse and go back and forth, I can vote
Yeah.
5 times.
Go for it.
If I want more attention to that road, I can just do that. Okay, thank you.
Both sets of tires.
Right, okay,
Boom,
there you
boom.
go. Exactly.
Okay, I got one quick
Sure,
question.
Go ahead.
This is totally me by being naive before I got into this whole process, but when I read your RFCs, which are awesome, I love them. At first, I thought when you have grant funds, that's the cost of the project. That's not the cost of the project. Is there a way to put a line in there that would say possible or approximate cost and then grant? Because I'm finding that I'm having to go back through my notes to figure out on your list when you write your projects out what the cost project is.
Sure, that's a good idea.
Just like a one line,
Yeah.
one snippet. And I know it's not gonna be perfect because that number may
Yeah.
change, but then in my mind, I don't have to flip through and try to
But,
figure out
you
how
know-
much is the project
But you know,
actually gonna be.
$75,000 grant against a proposed $500,000 project. That's a
Yeah,
great idea.
right.
That's a
Just,
great
just
idea.
so I don't have to go
Yeah,
back and
yeah.
forth. And then I thought, oh boy, that's really cool. Our project is covered by grant funds. No,
Yeah.
that's just a portion of
Yeah,
it.
true. Okay, all good?
I guess one of the questions I'd get back to that resident, do you have any idea of like a rough time frame on when you think that you'd be ready to either change the speeds or is that possibly coming to the
Well,
board?
you probably have to bring it back to.
I'd
this
bring it
board.
back to the board.
Maybe at least the joint meeting.
So yeah, we could get that right. Yeah, I think, okay, good, super. Thank you, everybody. 32 technology, Nate?
Nothing to add to my report.
How are you doing personally? Okay? You okay? With the holiday?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you all for your well wishes.
Yeah, I think about you often, so. Yep, go ahead.
I have nothing to add to the report.
I just want to hear you talk a little bit. So, okay. Anything for Nate? Yeah.
No, I think you had wrote in somewhere something about that buzzing when people are talking in certain areas. And I did notice that during the finance meeting.
Yep.
On the right side, when poor Pam was trying to talk about her awesome presentation.
Yeah,
It's not like a buzz, it's that feedback or something.
yeah, it's a little different tonight. I can hear it. So it's a fine tuning, trying to figure out how we can get sound out, but not too much feedback. So
Gotcha.
Okay. All right, good. How many do we have of these? I
three.
saw 3 tonight, right? Okay. So if we don't want to get one for everyone, maybe just a couple more and to keep the cost down and see if that works. We'll give all the soft talkers one.
I don't think I
You
need
do
one.
have
I don't need
another,
one. I don't need one.
you have another handheld and a handheld that I could get a stand for.
Yeah, I know, a handheld, that might get a little carried away. You know, if somebody's a little animated.
Listen, I can get a stand.
You know, yeah.
Throw it in.
How much are these though?
See, it's not just the cost of the microphone.
Yeah.
It's, you see
It's all of that.
box up there's only so many inputs it takes. And once you're full, then if you need to add more, then you need extra white in another box. So it's,
I think
It's
really
kind
think
of-
2 to 3 is pretty good. We just put them by the soft talker people.
And then
So
do we have one for the public?
that, we
That's one that Sean brought.
we can move them around, yeah.
You're right, I saw it. Okay, so let's see, knowledge reports from departments. By Ermeling, second by Clark. Any more on discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
I,
Opposed? So carried. Work product transmittals. Let's see, 34, 35, 36, 37. Acknowledge April building permits, acknowledge April budget status, acknowledge April code enforcement report, acknowledge 2026 Weston Water Utility PSC annual report. I'll need a motion.
I'll move to acknowledge.
I'll
Okay,
second.
Okay,
3637.
okay. Motion to acknowledge by Zagami, second by Beck. Any more on the discussion?
Can I add, I was gonna answer the Kennedy question. So the aquatic
Thank you.
center is in Kennedy Park. And we spent $77,000 on a down payment for the aquatic center.
Okay.
Got it. Was that new piece of equipment thing?
So that's the fall project for all the new pumps and motors.
Okay.
Valves.
Okay.
So the aquatic center that just falls underneath that, and that was all that equipment. Thank you.
Okay, so we got a motion on the floor, second. Any more discussion? You know, just real quick on the discussion. So we do 40,000 out of tourism, you know, for the pool. Have we ever thought of doing a little bit more?
We can talk about it at
Yeah.
tourism.
Yeah, tourism, okay, I mean, maybe we should, you know, so it's been 40,000 forever.
Actually, it would be a board decision because that is the village's portion.
But it would go to tourism first and then come back to the board? Or just have it on the agenda for board?
Actually just board, right?
It would just be board because it's our percentage.
The 40, you know, I was really troubled with it, you know, years ago, that I thought, oh, come on, you know, what are we doing here, you know? But, you know, it is for the community, it is a pool, it's a great pool at our parks. And that 40's been out there, I mean, I only remember 40 forever.
We've
And so-
only ever, so we levy 40
Mhm.
for general levy and then we've always just transferred 40 from room tax, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an incredible service, and you know, maybe some families are here, they're staying in some hotels. It's huge community, and everything else is going up, not that it should, but maybe that should too. All right, that's enough. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried, thank you. Consent agenda, let's see, we're looking for number 40, approved vouchers, checks numbers 66598 through 66740 and 90248 through 90251. You want to do these all together? Yes. Renewal of an adult establishment license for 2026-27 licensing term. 42, renewal of weights and measures licenses for 2026-2027 licensing term. 43, renewal of cigarette, tobacco, and electronic vaping licenses for 2026 through 2027 licensing term. 44, renewal of lodging license for 2026 through 2027 licensing term. Renewal of number 45, renewal of Class A fermented malt beverage and Class A intoxicating liquor. Class B fermented malt beverage, Class B fermented malt beverage, and Class B intoxicating liquor. Class B fermented malt beverage and Class B intoxicating liquor license reserve. Class C wine licenses for 2026 and 2027 licensing term. I actually have a buzz on. And 46, renewal of salvage license for 2026, 2027 licensing term. We need a motion. Motion to approve by. Yep. 46. By Ermeling.
Second.
Second by Clark. Any on discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. We don't have any reserve licenses open. They're all.
We got 3 reserves.
All three of them still? At 10 apiece? At 10 apiece.
Those are the ones that are used. We have remaining ones
Oh, we
that,
do, okay.
yeah, I
Okay.
can't remember how many of those we have,
Okay.
but probably like 6 or 5.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, ordinances, 48, ordinance number 26-008, an ordinance amending chapter 18 business, section 18.148, entitled mobile food vendors license.
Move to approve.
Move to approve by Lopes Ferrero. I have a second by Zagami. Anything on the discussion?
Yeah, Chief Finke's going, he gave a pretty good overview of this to the club's committee. It might be, I think, beneficial if he just gives a
I
little
agree.
1 or 2 minute kind of overview of what this is and what it purpose of it is and what we're trying to.
Agreed.
You look surprised.
He did that. Sorry to put you on the spot.
That's fine. So basically what this is, as you guys are aware, food trucks have become popular here the last several years. So, Safer, along with Marshfield, Wisconsin Rapids, Stevens Point, Clover, and Riverside, I feel like I might be missing one, got together, and basically any one entity that inspects that truck from a fire inspection perspective throughout that season, as long as one of those departments inspects that truck, we'll put a sticker on that's noticeable for all the departments, and then it doesn't have to be inspected for every community that it goes into. So in other words, if the truck is inspected at Marshfield and the next week is in the village of Weston for an event, that sticker is on there that says the inspector
That's
of
enough.
Marshfield inspected it and we're good to go.
And those communities are all in like on how they approve. So same thing with Marathon County. So if Marathon County, we had an issue several years ago with a Merrill truck that was approved by Marathon.
Health department, you mean?
Yeah, health department, or maybe even Lincoln County. And so will that be useful here too, that we could let it go?
As far as the health department stuff,
Yeah,
that I don't know about.
okay.
They still have to have their own.
They still have to have a food license, okay.
Right, and but it used to be where you had to be had a license in every county. So if you're like at the Shawano County Fair and then at the Wisconsin Valley Fair, and then you'd have to have a license in each one. And now you just have to have one and it's good for all the counties.
So that's all for the counties, but you're talking about the cities or villages.
Yeah, these are the different municipalities and like it's most of the major municipalities in Wood, Portage and Marathon County with the exception of the city.
That's a huge money saver, time saver, everything saver. So good. Okay, good. All right. Was there any more questions on that? Brett, was that, or did you want him to talk more?
Thanks, Chief.
Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. No more discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. 49, ordinance number 26-009, an ordinance amending chapter 2 administration, division 2-3 committees, section 2.214 entitled standing committees, Village of Weston, Marathon County, Wisconsin. Get a motion?
Move to approve.
Move to approve by Lopes Ferrero. Second by Ermeling. Now on the question, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? So carried. 50, ordinance number 26-011, an ordinance amending chapter 50 nuisances. Excluding me, of course. Very small attempt on humor, sorry. Motion by, I didn't hear it, I'm sorry.
I'll motion to approve.
Oh, okay, by Clark. Second by. Oh, second. By Olson. Any more on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. 51, ordinance number 26-012, an ordinance amending chapter 82, traffic and vehicles, article 3, bicycles. Need a motion to get it on the floor?
I'll move to approve the ordinance number 26-012, amending chapter B2 traffic and vehicle, article 2 bicycles.
Motion by Zagami,
Second.
second by Clark. On the discussion. So this, what are these are e-bikes? Flying down the sidewalks at 52 miles an hour?
That's an e-moto.
Yep, they're different. I learned all about them.
E-moto?
E-moto.
I missed a good meeting. Apparently I missed a good meeting.
That's like a motorcycle with an e-bike.
Yeah, the difference is the pedals, right? And the engine.
Yes.
Engine, you said engine with a bike. Wow.
It's
E-motos,
crazy.
Bike's a bad rap, not the same thing.
Yeah, different.
Do you service e-bikes? No? Okay, just one. I mean, there can't be much money on them. I mean, they probably just throw away and buy another one. All right, so any more discussion? Hearing none? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Resolution 52, resolution 2026-014, a resolution in support of a long-term sustainable funding solution to the state's transportation fund.
I move to adopt resolution 2026-014.
Motion by Ermeling,
I'll second.
second by Beck. On the discussion.
Not sure what it'll do, but at least support it.
Yeah, absolutely. Jessica's smiling. Okay, hearing no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Unfinished business, discussion and or action on amendments to the elected and appointed village officials handbook. Section 1.08 remote meeting attendance policy. Remind me why this came back? Or is back?
The changes are actually in.
Yeah,
the-
okay, so we made the changes.
I'm just,
That's what I thought, okay. Cause we voted on this, right?
We voted on that the ordinance would be changed, the policy would be changed, but you didn't see the policy with the actual changes in it.
Oh, okay.
that was my only question is when I was trying to read over the policy, was it the same thing that we approved? We're not adding anything to the generic policy.
So where there's red would be the changes that were discussed at the last meeting with the noticing the 3 people, that your camera has to be on and that not being allowed in closed session.
So yes.
Okay, because when I'm
Yes.
reading the
Okay.
remote,
The original, the policy that was approved in 2023 was amended with the changes that are in red.
I know, okay, which we voted on.
okay, so where I'm reading in the policy and it says determines that health, safety, welfare, all of that, that's out.
That was in there previously. That was the policy that was previous.
And we're changing it to what we motioned and
Correct.
approved.
What was motioned and approved is that you would notice the three people, that you would be on camera, and that you wouldn't be allowed in closed session.
Okay.
Yep.
I just wanted to clarify because I was a little
We did.
confused when I was reading over the policy compared to what we had talked about. And I just wanted to make sure I was understanding it
It's more broad.
correctly. Okay, so it's more broad.
Yep.
Correct,
Yep.
okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm completely, 53. All right, so we have a motion and a second on the
I don't know if
floor.
we had a motion on that. No.
We did not.
We did not.
Motion.
Looking for a motion?
I'll move to approve the amendment to section 1.08 remote meeting attendance policy of the elected and appointed village official handbook.
Motion by Zagami,
And subsequent renumbering of section as presented.
do we have a second? Second by Ermeling, on the discussion.
I do have one
Yep.
question. So because we had so much debate at the last meeting about it and the reasons why you could or could not be allowed to attend virtually. In what I'm reading right now, it says it's not authorized solely for convenience due to vacation travel or seasonal relocation. But in our conversation last month, I thought we agreed that if you were on vacation and you wanted to participate, you could.
Yep,
So-
it's broad in that sense, yes. So
It
that's,
says right here, remote attendance is not authorized solely for convenience due to vacation or travel.
I would agree, it's not authorized purely for convenience. You would still have to ask the chair and get
Okay.
permission.
Okay.
And it does say that the decision of the chair or the president is final, is not negotiable.
Okay.
that's fine.
So
I'm good with that. We did talk about
I
that.
think
Yeah.
that brings the balance between what I heard last meeting was that our primary responsibility is here, but we understand that people have other responsibilities, but you would still need to seek the permission.
Okay, and and my question was, I just wanted to make sure it aligned with what we had talked about it, to make it more broad, take out all these little details. You have to notify, be on camera,
Yep.
and you can't participate in closed session.
Correct.
And that's all it's gonna say, basically. Correct?
All good?
No, it would say exactly this. If you wanted to take out those sentences, those could be deleted.
I mean,
But
right
I
now, we're
think-
talking about, you're somewhere and you call the chair or the president and get it okayed, it's done. That's done. I'm
Right,
fine.
but the policy still is gonna say, you have to explain your health, your safety, your welfare. It's gonna say all of that, and that's not what we talked about at the
That should
meeting.
not be in there. No, that was not what we voted on.
It should say pretty much the wording that we had a motion on it. Because all of this isn't what we talked about.
We left it pretty broad. Health was not in there. You don't need a doctor's excuse.
No,
Yeah.
and it doesn't say that you do need those. It just says those are reasons why remote attendance could be warranted.
But then that's not what we talked about.
So we can take out the sentence on,
It should say pretty much exactly what we talked about in the meeting. The remote attendance policy. You have, well, where's the wording on it? Exactly what you said.
so this was taken from the prior policy from 2023 and then amended. So if we want to amend it down even more, I can bring it back and have it more limited than what it is.
We can approve it tonight. We can approve it tonight with those words out too, and then bring back the actual verbiage in print next month, right? We wouldn't have to wait 30 more days.
So it's essentially striking sentences 2 and 3 from item 1.
And then the one in A.
Because as chairs and president, we want to get involved in determining whose excuse was good enough, basically.
Right, we don't,
That's what we
we
want.
don't want to play with that. I agree. Barb?
Yeah, I guess I agree to that to a point. I guess because of the prior board member that almost all of his meetings were.
I think that's a decision, if we get to that point, that's a decision for the 7 members. You know, that's not a decision that we're gonna, you know, singly take care of on a meeting night to approve or not to approve. I think that'd be a little vengeful to say no, because I think this. And I think if we have an issue, I mean, I'm thinking of all the different years I've been here, and yeah, we've had some talks on, you know, some people, but we never took action. We
Right.
just never did. That's extremely hard to do on an elected official.
You know.
And that's something that if we want to talk about it, you know, as a board, that's one thing. But I don't think we want to go down that rabbit hole.
I mean, there's reasons sometimes that you would like to do the virtual or you need to because you are gone. But I guess I have a problem if you're elected to be here and attend the meetings in person. There has to be a good reason why you are.
We don't want to get into
Right,
those.
I don't want to get into those reasons, and we already
agree.
kind of did this at the last meeting. So our policy should state, and we should follow what the policy says. So we voted one way
We already
to
voted
make
on
the
that, yeah.
motions, it should be changed to that and deal is done. I don't know why we would go back and debate it. So either we motion now with the changes as from the last meeting, or we have to amend it, bring it back to the next meeting.
It's basically, Barb, so if you wanted to miss finance next month because you're on vacation, you'd have to ask my permission. And I have to deem it yes or no, and you have no recourse to my answer. And that's,
No, not to miss it. She can miss it.
Yeah.
Without your permission.
No, it's
yes,
the
she has
She
to.
wants to attend with your
Virtually, she
permission.
can't
virtually.
without my
Yeah.
permission. So I don't want to have to get to the parts where I say your reason is good enough.
Right.
Because that's not my role. It's not my responsibility to say that Barb's reason is good enough to
What
attend
if I
virtually.
did want to go all party that night, but I went up with you to the meeting?
I do it. I don't, but I mean,
Well,
but you're not gonna do that, Barb.
Well, I
That's
know
not gonna
I'm
happen.
not,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to, but I'm just
You
saying.
know, we're talking about something that isn't happening, hasn't happened. Well, okay, fine, but you know what, it's just, we're bringing up stuff that we just don't need to, you know, now if we say, or answer that one, now we're gonna have another issue. You know, so there's a lot of, you know, ifs and whens and hows, and so, I mean, we already voted on this, we approved it, and go ahead, Jamie.
So just looking at the screen, we would take out these 2 sentences. Remote attendance is only authorized by the board or chair and the health safety warranted. Remote attendance is not authorized solely for the convenience. Those would be redlined out.
Correct.
And then we would take out this sentence. And so this would just read, a member of the body seeking to attend remotely shall notify the village administrator, the clerk, and the president of all requests at least 12 hours in advance of the meeting. And then these 2 would go too. You're saying there's no determination. Members of the body attending remotely shall have all the powers. So there's no.
It says
No. It says members of the body attending remotely shall have all the powers of participation
Oh, yes,
except for
yes.
closed session.
Except for closed session, yes.
Closed session on camera,
sorry.
and you have to be you have to be participating,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, you stopped there and I thought you meant that they had all the powers to do what they want. Yeah. But you're not. It's the whole policy. Sorry.
So the motion could be to approve with striking those 2 sentences, this 1 sentence, and the 2 prior sentences.
I think there's a motion on the floor already, you gotta amend it.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't know who made that motion.
Who made the motion? Trustee Zagami first and trustee Ermeling second.
Second, okay. Thank you. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Wait.
We have to amend.
I thought we did.
No, they didn't. She just,
This is the original motion.
so did they have to go back and amend them?
You should make a motion to amend with the additional strike-throughs.
Okay.
Okay.
So then I make a motion to amend the remote policy with the strike-throughs that we recommended as per this discussion.
Okay, second?
Second.
Second by Clark. So motion, amendment by Beck and second on the amendment by Clark. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 2 noes, did I hear? Two noes, okay?
Ermeling
And, sure. All right, now on
the original
the
motion.
original motion.
As amended.
As amended. All those in favor say aye. Serious?
What?
All those in favor say
No,
aye.
of the original,
Of the original as amended, yes.
oh, as amended,
Yeah.
with our changes.
Yeah,
So you
Yes.
vote on the amendment and then the original motion as amended,
yes.
amended.
Okay.
Okay, okay, let's try this again. So we're now voting on the original with the amendment attached. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Two noes, the same two, Lopes, Farrell and Ermeling, okay? So we got it? We got it. All right, new business, discussion and or action on president's appointments to committees and or commissions. We do have two, we have Stephanie Daniels, who's currently on finance and HR. She has requested, and I want to put her up for clips, and also a Goldson Mua. Goldson Mua has asked for finance and or clips. And I'd like to appoint both of them to clips at this point. And we'll see how it goes for Goldson Mua and see if she would want to do finance at a couple months just to see how she goes in the first one. So at this point, I'm asking for action on Golden Mua and Stephanie Daniels to be put on the clips committee. I will need a motion for that. Motion by Ermeling. Second by Lopes Row. Okay, thank you. Anything on the discussion? So we still have parks opening. We still have two openings on HR finance. And I think that
One more on clips.
one more on clips, okay? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. So it has been asked of me, do we want to, I know these get floated to staff and staff looks at the, the
resumes and the
Do we want
applications.
those to float to the board also? There's a few board members that would like to see those, especially on your own committees or commissions. And I don't think that'd be the worst thing. I mean, I get to see them, so I see them. And, but I mean, if you want to see them, absolutely. Yes, go ahead.
It's no different than.
Yeah, you
like-
don't have to ask permission for that, so.
It's no different than like with when you were appointing people to the board last year.
Mm-hmm.
The resumes were put in the packet, minus of course their address or whatever. So I mean, I guess I look at it the same way. If they're
Mm-hmm.
wanting to be on a public committee, welcome to the public.
Right. Okay, so thoughts?
I think
Yeah.
it's a good idea.
I think if you're a chair or whatever, if you want to just, ask the administrators, hey, I'd like to see anything coming my way. That'd be fine, or all of them, that's fine. I don't think that'd be an issue at all, so.
You just want them in the packet?
Sure, let's just do that then, yeah, that's fine. And I know we have some deadlines, some date deadlines as far as, so that's why we don't put them on because we may have more applicants. So we don't want to choose early if there's a deadline. I think June 1st is something for.
We extended it to June 1st because
For
we,
finance. HR.
yeah, and for clips, we would
But we
take.
still have an opening for clips, so it's not like we're stopping it and somebody wants to put their name in, okay. Okay,
The only time that you would see those is, like when we just did reorg and there's a series of reappointments, then there's usually not a request if they're gonna continue their service to redo an application.
okay, good. All right, thank you. I finished that motion, correct? Yes. 55, discussion and or action on approval of secondhand article dealer license and secondhand jewelry dealer license of Schofield Coin and Hobby LLC at 5703 Jamar Street. Can we get a motion to put it up on the floor?
Motion to,
Yeah.
action on approval of the secondhand art.
By Ermeling, thank you.
A second.
Second by Clark. Okay, what is the difference between, me opening up my garage door and having secondhand articles for sale? To this, why does someone need a license for this? Or it's because they're gonna do it more often?
For starters, it's a safety for the public in case there's stolen merchandise. Because they're getting secondhand merchandise and they're selling it like jewelry, or if somebody there's a difference, like if I would go to an auction and purchase merchandise and sell it from what my understanding is through talking with Captain Aldrich, then I wouldn't need a secondhand dealership license. But if I'm buying secondhand items from a secondhand dealer, then there has to be some safety in that it's not stolen merchandise and it's placed on a website that has access by the police department, so they can double check and make sure that that is not stolen merchandise. Pawn shops, yep, same.
So as the public, if they knew that, then they would feel better going there. So like if I go to a garage sale and I'm buying stolen merchandise, I have no protection.
Well, you don't, but this is,
Yeah.
this is a state law,
Okay.
statutes.
Usually a 30-day period where it has to be held before it's sold to allow for it to be reported stolen. So that,
Oh, really? Okay.
but also doesn't this license allow them to put loans against people's personal items? So it's not just you're selling it to the pawn shop, you can actually take a loan out against it.
I don't know if the statute, I'm kind of just learning about all this myself. As a matter of fact, I might be bringing this ordinance to Clips to relook at it, because our ordinance is rather old and probably needs some extra verbiage in it. But, so I'm not extremely familiar with the secondhand dealer license or laws yet. I'm just kind of getting into them and looking at our ordinances, but this particular place, I do not believe is going to be doing anything that Trustee Olson is suggesting. But I don't know if the statute provides for that.
Okay, 5703 Jamar Street, is that residential? No?
It's right next to the old municipal building.
It's actually still under construction, so it doesn't have an occupancy yet, so we may want to put that as a contingency.
Well, oh, okay, yep.
So under 13471 of the Wisconsin state statutes says that anybody who let me just find what I just lost for this, who buys, sells, exchanges used personal property to obtain a local license. And it also says buys, sells, trades, or consigns used items. So just based on my knowledge of that, working in the county for a couple of years from a law enforcement perspective, that loan on your personal item, you can, give them an item, they'll give you cash, you have to pay them back to get your item. So I do believe that is part of the statute that we're talking about.
Chief Hunt?
I just have a couple points. So I'm a little familiar with this, but so they're buying and selling precious metals is really what this is, and deals with gold, and it deals with large dollar amounts on those from time to time, depending on what it is. And because of the amount of money that's being traded in and out of there on a regular basis, it operates as if it's a pawnbroker per se, but they're really not lending money back on that, from my understanding. It's just purchasing of gold items or gold cash, but there's a large amount of money that goes in and out of those places. So it's not like you're doing a transaction for 50 cents or $4. It could be thousands of dollars that are coming and going on any transaction.
Okay. Do we have a motion second on the floor?
If I could just, quickly, like what Jennifer said, they are working through the permit process right now. So I do have that we need the satisfactory completion of the background check, but maybe to add on the motion as well, the pending the permit provided by planning and development.
Receipt of occupancy.
So we need an
Occupancy, I'm sorry.
an amendment to the original motion then?
Yeah, that was right. Probably.
Okay. I thought we got it on the floor with motion in a second, yeah?
So we need an amendment.
So the two original motion and seconds is who?
Trustee Ermeling and Trustee Clark.
Okay, so would you add that to you as an amendment?
You have to require the background checks and
Occupancy, okay. So initially first with Ermeling, Clark?
Second.
Second, okay. So voting on the amendment only. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Now on the original motion with the amendment attached, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. All right. 56, discussion and or action on compliance assurance plan, CAP policy.
I move to approve the compliance assurance plan.
Okay, motion by Lopes Serraro. Have a second?
Oh.
By Clark. Any more on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. 57, discussion only on feedback on, I didn't mean to emphasize only, so sorry if anybody took offense to that. Discussion only on feedback on farmer's market location at Kennedy Park and recommended follow-up actions. So just have at it. Nobody needs to make a motion or anything. So I've been by there several times. I've been asking a lot of people. I think there's still quite a lot of misunderstanding on why we're not at the corner, which, that was a gift by a local business person, to let us use that for $1 a year. We didn't get to say, here nor there. And I mean, it's decided that, he's been working on that corner for several years and finally got some commitments and it's time to go. I'm sorry, but you got to go. Great visual. I thought it was horrible entering and exiting. And I thought for some of the other business people there, I thought it had to be wicked, but visually, optically, you couldn't get a better corner. It's impossible, just impossible. I mean, many times I wanted to stop the car and run and get some mums from the Amish or Mennonites, but I thought I'm going to get through my red light the wrong way. So with that being said, we're over at Kennedy. I know we had some tough rain and windy days a couple times. I know I talked to Renee about that. Saw some stuff. Thank you, Katrina, for some of the social stuff. But I've been hearing a lot of that too, and I'm sure most of you have. And now here we go. That's my little 2 cents. So go ahead. Barb?
Yes, because I've been reading a lot of the different comments and yes, we were given that property to be used because there was a store there that the agreement was that they would not build another store in front of them. Well, that store went out of business, so now the property owner can put that other lot, which was our farmer's market lot, up for sale and put a building there. So we did not have a choice in it. It was something that the property owner wanted to develop, and so we had to find another place. I know there's been discussion again on that they felt it should go to Mock Miller Park, which would have sounded really ideal with the parking and everything, except for one minor detail. When we had the farmer's market by the old Weston Municipal Center, one of the feedbacks we got from a lot of people was they felt it was too far out to go. The business was not that great. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't like it is over in this corner. So moving it to Mont Miller Park would have been, talk about being out of the area and out of sight. It definitely would have been there. I think for the parking and all that would have been fantastic.
Operationally, it'd have been great, but optically, for retail, it'd be horrible.
If anybody can find a spot where we could move it to, please let us know. That's all I got to say.
Lisa?
So I think we're addressing two things, is long-term plans for the farmer's market and short-term concerns. I know my short-term concern is the parking in Kennedy Park. I've been there 2 of the last 3 Saturdays. I was there this past week and people are lined up in the grass. It is a huge safety concern for me. And are we allowed to park in parks? I don't think we are. So
No.
why are we parking there?
No.
Why are residents parking there?
We do, because the baseball,
Baseball has for years.
I've never seen so many cars out there. I mean, years and years and years, if you go just down Newport and then where they have the baseball,
Always parked there.
the cars and trucks are everywhere on the lawn and stuff, yeah.
So then.
And I asked that question too.
Then we should relook at the ordinances and why are they parking there? It's a safety concern. People are coming in and out of there. Like,
Put streets up there. I mean,
we need to fence that
Well,
area off. If
well-
we have the parking lot and we have the street parking, why are they parking in the
Are we
park?
talking Alderson as the issue?
No.
Oh.
Because I did drive by, I think a couple people, and it is Newport that has both
Right.
sides, but it
Yeah.
says you can park
Yeah.
on both sides.
Yeah.
I agree it's tight, but you're authorized to do that. And I only saw the one side on Kennedy. I didn't see anybody on the other side. But of course, that's a snapshot in time. I was not there for 8 hours.
In a
That was
week-
the hour I was
In
there.
a week, will you not be able to go south on Alderson because of the roundabout?
Yeah, maybe 2 weeks, but yeah.
For them to do this in 3 months, there's no way they're gonna leave that traffic open.
No,
way.
it'll be shut
They've
down.
gotta shut it down. So all 4 of those ways are gonna stop traffic. So Alderson will be, you can plug Alderson up all you want, you know.
You mean parking on the grass along Alderson?
Yes, so I mean, and I took photos, so when you come into that parking lot, they're parking all on that edge.
So you like in the skate park parking? So that they're
On the
moving
other side.
On the other side? Okay.
Yeah, on both sides. When you
Okay.
come in, when you got that little parking lot there, they're
Yep.
parking on both sides.
Okay.
There's not that much room and leeway. I don't even like the vendors parking in there, let alone all of these cars that are parking in there. So do we have a better solution? I don't remember that ever being the discussion.
Well, I think it's kind of a moving, you know, I think it's just gonna keep on changing throughout this whole year to just see how we can get this to work. If it's gonna even stay there, we don't know. It may not. But at a certain point that we gotta kind of say to ourselves, and I know this is, you know, nobody's gonna wanna hear this. If we can't find a spot, maybe we just don't have one for a while until we have a spot. Because this much commotion and this much community, you know, there's just, you know, if you go on social media, I mean, it's 85% negative anyway. So, you know, it's, I don't know how to tell you. I can't imagine how River Drive started for Wausau. And, that probably started very slow to begin,
And
you know?
a lot of like vendors, and community members are coming, like, we're having that parking issue because it's very popular.
Right.
It is a very
Right now,
popular.
it's a good problem to have, except it's gonna
Market.
have other issues, right?
I mean, I think if you moved it to Mockmiller, you're gonna have those same issues. People are gonna, there's no way you can fit all your vendors and all the customers and all their tents.
And Mockmiller, you could quadruple it out there, but no one's gonna come.
You couldn't,
Yeah.
There's not that much parking.
there's not that much.
Yeah, but nobody's gonna come. Nobody's gonna drive out.
Be able to do T-ball out
Yeah.
there. My son played T-ball and that whole thing was clogged up and
Really?
most of the neighborhood, I walked there with my
Yeah.
kids. There's not as much parking there either. that I think.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's two separate things. It's
right.
the
It is.
immediate concerns. Can we fix anything now? And then we're gonna have to table the future concerns of where we put it, but I think you're talking about two separate issues. So how can we kind of correct it the next couple of weeks to make it a little bit better?
And now that we have the hockey boards down and people have for long parked where the hockey is, could we block off that parking along Alderson, not on the street, but in the grass and just say to,
I just don't know how many like customers will know to go over there. Like, you know, when we have baseball, like they'll do it on the 20th. You know, that's gonna be all filled up with all the baseball people, because they'll be all over there.
There isn't a problem parking in the grass. It was really nice. I'm not sure the issue. I parked there. We went there Saturday and we also went there the day before or the weekend before, so.
Yeah,
That's where we parked in the grass along Alderson. It's very safe. We don't have to cross the road.
Okay.
People don't drive crazy in the grass. It's grass, it's bumpy, so we go slow. I don't.
Katrina?
For me, I guess specifically for the parking in the grass issue, is that we're trying to not destroy the park and the field. And it's, maybe you could separate having the vendors driving in there and parking as one set of vehicles, but to have a continuous amount of traffic, the customers coming and parking in there, driving in and out, parking, backing out, coming back out is a different level of traffic on that field. So that's part of my concern with just that aspect is we're trying to not have to fix this field. So at the end of the season or next spring, whatever, if the market stays there. And I guess I didn't understand, our ordinances does say that we're not supposed to be parking on the grass, does it not? Or is that not a thing, actually?
For residents, yes.
Residential.
Yeah, residential is, you're not supposed to be you're supposed to be on asphalt or dirt or whatever.
Okay.
It's long-term parking.
Yeah, which eliminates a lot of extra
You know, like
vehicles
at
that someone told me.
Mockmiller, Monday through Thursday, they're all parked on the grass at Mockmiller.
Yeah.
And then they're parked by the hockey rink, all for baseball, you know, during the weeknights, they're all parked there. I mean, like I said, you know, even the last 3 weeks, they've been track meets. They're parked all over. They're parked in people's yards, they're parked on all the streets, because they're just in general with sporting events and things in general. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people, you know, I guess I would encourage people to talk to the vendors, see what their thoughts are, what customers are. I mean, I know there's been a lot of negative stuff online, but a lot of people that are coming, because they're continuing to come.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, if they didn't like it, they wouldn't be coming. And I mean,
There's been a lot of positive feedback through Messenger, right directly to the village accounts.
I mean, I don't know, it's good, I think it's gotten so
Positive
big that I agree, I think if we cannot come up, you know, if they're gonna have to continue to park, I think we just not do it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
How many vendors, okay, do you know offhand how many vendors we fit at the corner site? And have we expanded the number of vendors now? Like, what are those numbers?
Okay, so, in our original site by our old building, we had 25 stalls, okay? And they got to keep their vehicle with them. Okay, when we moved over to Cam Phillips and Schofield Avenue, there wasn't enough room to have their vehicles, okay? But we did go from 25 to about 42. Okay. But what they had to do then is, you know, like I would be there at 5 a.m. helping people unload their 150 moms because there's someone next, you know, waiting to unload their stuff because everybody had to unload and then go park in the parking lot. Okay. But they gave that up because of the exposure, because it was really popular and stuff. But you know, in May or in October when it's 20 degrees, they're staying out there. There's no shelter, there's no car, you know. We're like the only market who didn't allow vehicles with them. So then when we couldn't be there and we had looked like they had talked about, you know, going behind the old Family Dollar, but there's all these trees. So we'd had to cut all those trees and improve it and stuff. And then he, you know, Lockery could have said, well, I'm gonna build eightplex or whatever. So we would have done all that work. And so we did kind of look around like, you know, where could we do this and have the vendors have their vehicles? And then because there wasn't a baseball field to be built at that location, so we don't know when, like they can have their vehicles there. And now they can actually, when it's cold and raining and stuff like that, they can be in there. So we have about 53 spots. I'm sorry, it took a long way to get around, but I just wanted to.
Okay.
To give you guys background and stuff. And they have their vehicles, they really like that. It's really easy. They pull in, they get in, they can take their time setting up.
Well, they can replenish too, you know, they
Yes.
can leave stuff on the truck or a car or whatever and then replenish as the day goes on.
Right, you know,
Like walking.
and we did kind of look, again, you know, kind of looked at Mockmiller, but a lot of times people, we're just trying to get people to figure out where we are now and then say, okay, let's by Target, by the school, you know, like, but if it's Mockmiller, like, I don't know how many people are gonna go then. And the reason we moved is because no one was coming to our market at our old place, because it was so far down. No one is on their way to anywhere, you know, down there. I mean, yes, I'm passionate about it. We're a big family. I've done this for 20 years, you know, but I understand, you know, and if it's something that we can't logically go forward with, I understand that. I don't want to like continue to move every year and go, oh, you know what, that's not gonna work either.
Yeah, well, we've been, thank you, Raleigh Lockery, because we've been spoiled incredible. You know, that's unbelievable that was offered and.
You know, and there wasn't parking on the grass there, but there was still craziness.
Yeah.
Like, if you try to turn left on Cam Phillips,
Oh, yeah.
good luck with that.
Yeah, I know.
Even if you're gonna turn right, if you're behind someone turning left, you know, people coming through the Dunkin' Donuts drive-through and stuff like that, so.
You know, to Lisa's request, didn't somebody else have any, Brent? Yeah, I'm sorry, Brent, go ahead.
Well, if you want to finish that, because I have feedback.
No, I was finishing.
It's not related to parking or location.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so Renee, I guess, feel free to jump in if any of these numbers I have are wrong, but it was brought to me by a resident and I started looking into it and got down a rabbit hole. But cost to date for this year for the farmer's market, these are from our vouchers from tonight. $3,110.48 for farmer's market electric supplies, $545 for farmer's market electrical supplies, $362.70 for farmer's market electrical supplies. Green Valley toilet rentals, $172. I recognize that a lot of those electrical supplies are probably a one-time cost because we had to set up a new location. But we've also thrown around in the last 10 minutes, even looking at other locations in the future. I'm assuming the toilet is a reoccurring cost every month. My understanding is we still have a $5,000 market manager, not Renee, that we pay.
No, we don't pay him.
anymore.
No.
Okay, so we have electricity, I'm assuming, additional toilet rentals every month. We're paying $150 for fruit and veggie tokens so that people can, you know, use cards and the vendors have that, you know, convenience that they have with them. Renee's time, I can't even begin to get that up because in a finance meeting tonight, she was there all weekend long for a number of these weekends. She's there at 5 a.m. sometimes, like. And then I look at what we charge. $10 as a drop-in and $30 for a 6-week period.
No, it's $20 a day and $150 for the season.
Okay, so then that's different off the website. That's where
I don't have anything on the
I
website.
got that online somewhere. But anyways, I guess I want to make sure, are we running at a significant loss?
No,
Are we running at a loss?
no,
Making money on the farmer's market every year?
yes. So
We have a
I,
fund balance. Our goal is not to make money. Like,
Well, I mean, but we're not losing a ton of money.
and it also stays all with the farmer's market.
like, Jess can tell you how much, what we have.
So we haven't had any, I don't need the exact numbers, as long as we're not losing money.
No, so the time Renee puts in is above and beyond her 40 hours a week. So to actually replace Renee, we probably wouldn't be able to. But at this point, all the effort that she puts in is above and beyond.
Above and beyond, so if we probably figured that in, it may not always be as
So the-
positive of a number.
The amount of money we get from our vendors, like at $150. And as for tokens, I know people are really confused on it, so I'm gonna just kind of briefly, I don't wanna like go down the rabbit hole, but so we spent $150, so I got 2 grants. Okay, I got one from Northeast Wisconsin Feeding America and from A Country. So it's right around $5,000 in 2 grants, okay? And what they're trying to promote is double up food bucks, okay? So when you have your SNAP card and you swipe that at our market manager, up to $20, you get the $1 EBT tokens, you get another $20 of double your food bucks, okay? Now, at the end of the month, I turn a receipt in and I get reimbursed for all of that. Okay, so I have the grants to do that. I have the grants for any of the flyers or anything like that. And anything like when, it'll show that we swipe EBT, debit, Aspires, anything like that, we get reimbursed. So when someone goes to the doctor at Aspires, they get a card, they get $20 of tokens from Aspires. Then we submit that, they reimburse us.
So we may hold on that all the way through.
Yeah, so, and then when people use their debit or credit card, we charge them money to use that, so, because we don't want to lose customers that, okay, I'm gonna date myself, a time machine, okay? Instead of leaving to go to a time machine or Quick Trip to get money, they can swipe their card, but we charge them because, we get a small charge, we charge $1 for every $25. So sometimes it may not even out all the time, but, I get the receipts every after every market and everything. And then twice a month, the vendors turn in their tokens and they get a receipt and then I cut them a check. So it technically is even for even, but we make it because we have to charge them to use it. We don't charge them for the EBT, but we don't get charged from the banks for the EBT. And any expenses now, I just turn in, like the one from A Country, they're just gonna give me the $2 grand. And then that just goes towards that. But the other ones, I have to turn in my expenses and they reimburse us.
And like I said, I love the farmer's market. I go there all the time. I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be a moneymaker, just as long as we're not digging a huge financial hole.
No, absolutely not.
But I mean, the numbers of the moving costs for the electrical, I think if we do talk about in the future moving it, we really should think about those costs.
And that is a valid concern.
There's a lot of money to spend to run some cords, which I realize is so much more complex than that. That's a lot of money for what may be a temporary location depending on the future.
And the other site was there in 14? When did we start the one on the corner by Raleigh?
We were there for 10 years. So this is our 21st year. So we're like cut 10 and 10.
Okay.
And then this is our 1 year.
Okay. So just to kind of finish up here a little bit, Lisa had some thoughts about, we should maybe look in the next couple of weeks, maybe a month, on safety concerns. So that should be something that we're looking at. If whoever's out there, just look at some of that stuff. The next thing we should be thinking about is a permanent site. If this could be it or another site, which could take a longer time. And I gotta tell you, I also wonder, should we move in a direction that this is not our responsibility? That it's somebody else's, or do we want the control? Because the control is on the village. It's a nice look, it's a nice optic for the village. It is, it's huge. But I'll tell you, Wausau went through a real tough time when somebody down by Wausau Tile was kind of running theirs and they went and let vendors in. That's why I question you so often. that we are letting vendors in and other vendors in, because I don't want this.
Vendors last.
I don't want this to be a trap deal where the 40 vendors get to say who's in and out, because I don't think that's fair.
No, and that's the one thing
Yep.
that the vendors who have spouses that go to Wausau or anyone, they like it because, you know, I'm looking over it. I mean, I talk with our market managers and people, but I really look, so
And
everyone,
they don't get that open. I know that, yeah.
and they will have said that because I'm not gonna let 5 microgreens there because they're not all gonna be
Right.
successful.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
you wanna make sure that you don't have too
Well,
much.
you want variety. You want
You
variety. You
want
want
variety.
people coming there for other things other than 20 fruit and vegetable stands or.
You know, I mean, if you have 8 bakeries and they're all selling, you know, you're gonna spend all the time making all this stuff and then, oh, well, I'll buy from you, well, I'll buy from you, I'll buy from you, and then no one's successful and they have all that waste.
So I ran it for the 1 year that Renee did. So I was the first person that started it and we tried. Because when Administrator Zuliger was here and wanted to start it, he wanted to have it be kind of
Right.
taking care of itself. There was that issue down in the city of Wausau with them not allowing people in, and we got a lot of people from that were never allowed in there. And so that's how we became very successful. But we did try that route to kind of have them,
Yeah, just a thought. I just wanted to throw it out there.
and it didn't really work. We could
Okay.
never get somebody. We had Bert, that was a market manager for a long time that helped us start it, but we never really got any traction with
Yeah.
that.
It's a pride issue. I remember, you know, trying to get Jamie to come here to work here. And I remember her, you know, telling her to come up on a day that we have a farmer's market. I wanted you to see it. Cause I didn't think we'd get you. So, but the farmer market sold it. So anyway, little fun. Yep. Louis.
Have we, I was gone since the market opened, but have we looked at any ways that we could survey people that are at the market about, could we put up signs with QR codes to go to like a survey and get some generic feedback about thoughts about how the market is, thoughts about safety, like whatever.
I'd be welcome to sit there on a Saturday or two.
I'm just thinking of a way that people could regularly give us feedback through us rather than us, you know, looking at social media, because there gets to be this whole, we have a duty to educate people about why we're doing things and how we're doing things, but we've done that a number of times on this issue. We've discussed it extensively in this room. We've discussed extensively all the other options and why those weren't going to work for this year. And we've put it on social media and people still don't know why. We can only do so much to educate people. At some point, people have a duty to educate themselves or look into things or reach out and ask questions. Since this started, I've had 0 emails, 0 phone calls, 0 Facebook messages about this. I've gone to the farmers market Facebook page. There's nothing but positive comments. Yet, yes, other places, there's a lot of negative comments. So I think those comments are important and things that we need to be aware of. But we also need to recognize we can only do so much to educate people. But we do need to find a way to generate feedback so we know exactly how people are feeling that are at the park. And I look forward to going and seeing it for myself.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Could we design just 10 easy questions, 5 easy questions on a piece of paper? I'll sit there for a Saturday or two, get the information and give it to whoever wants to take a look at it. Would that be anything that would be useful?
Absolutely.
Well, and not just vendor wise, more the people that are coming and going, so you
And that's
actually
what
have
we
it.
did for the last 3 days. Obviously, the vendor, they're happy because they have their car with them and they have a bigger spot.
Mhm,
Okay, so
mhm.
they're really happy. But a lot of the vendors too, I mean, I've talked to people in the handicap, I've talked with people on walkers. I mean, you're gonna have the people that say, I can't walk in the grass, but then people are like, this is better than the gravel.
Yeah, I saw that comment.
You know, so, and then this people not online that I'm physically, they don't know who I am. You know, I just asked like, hey, I saw you parked there. Is that okay? Yeah, this is great. Or, you know, and yes, there are people that are parked along Alderson facing Alderson, and then they're right there at the market, you know, and that's what they're looking at. So they don't have to walk very far. And the handicap, we have it right in the market too, so they can come up, you know. Is it perfect? No. There's other places, you know, and everyone's gonna have, you know, you could have a snow day and people won't like that if you don't have a snow day. So, you know,
Okay.
you have to look at what a lot of people are thinking.
No, I just really would like to follow up on the parking of the road,
okay.
just is a safety concern for me.
Okay.
Chief, has anybody, has
Um,
anybody called police?
Can you come out there?
Yeah.
I can come, I'm sorry.
Can you have somebody just maybe hang there a little bit?
We haven't had any complaints so
That's what I'm
far.
gonna
Okay,
ask, yeah.
that wasn't, you didn't kind of answer me.
But
So could we have,
Alderson.
do you think they could just monitor maybe the traffic and within a week that section, that intersection will close? So it should change, but I mean, if they just
And
kind of cruise.
Wednesdays and Saturdays, right?
Yeah, just
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays and Saturdays.
Tuesdays, yeah. Well, Wednesdays you'll have no problems.
Well, Tuesday, yeah, Tuesdays is a.
I'll go.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Once the produce people
I'll
come,
go
yes,
Wednesday.
a lot of people come there for lunch,
Yeah.
like the fire department.
Okay, well, yep.
I was just gonna say, are we still addressing the parking on the inside of the park?
Well, I think that's gonna be an ongoing. It's gonna be ongoing.
Yeah, I don't think that we're gonna be able to fit the customers,
No, okay.
so.
And then,
I hear the concern is really the area along Alderson. I mean, I don't think there's a concern about parking in the park,
No, that's my concern, in the park.
yeah,
in any
but
place.
it's been allowed
Correct.
with baseball, so you can't say no.
And concert in this, off the square,
Yep,
which we
same
already
thing.
approved that whole park all in the park too.
Barbie, next.
Well, Yeah, I guess, I don't know what the solution is for the parking, I mean, they've got to park somewhere. But is there a way that a person could, rope off, I mean, I can remember parking in the park when the kids had Little League. And we pulled where the ice rinks used to be.
So did.
And, you know, and we
Yeah,
pulled
they still-
in, and the cars were just lined up like this, and they knew enough to keep, so, I mean, once in a while, somebody would park 3 wide, but, you know, I mean, 3 deep.
I mean, we can probably put cones, Lisa, like, and you and I can go there, I mean, but along.
That would be the best thing. We're not gonna decide that tonight, but going there and physically looking at it and eyeballing it several times, I think that's how we're gonna do it.
I just think maybe we had an area kind of where they could be a little more organized.
They are organized when they face Alderson. They just pull right into next year, they face Alderson. I think she's talking about when you first come in and they pull in those.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering if there was, like you said, cones or something that, I mean, I parked in, when I've gone to, what is that, Jason Glow or whatever. I mean, that's a field and they've just got, you know, ropes that you could, so you know where you're parking.
My one last point is that the master plan for Kennedy Park does not include this market. And so my
Right.
concern is that this is not the long-term solution either. And so we just need to keep that
Keep that open.
in
Yep.
mind.
Yep.
And I will say, item 11 on our core plan that we did says open spaces within parks.
Mhm.
That was the number 11 of people's wants when it was surveyed in that plan.
That's true.
So I mean, if we could have discussion about some Saturdays, 1 or 2 village people go there, they explain why it's there, take their concerns, take their thoughts, maybe answer any village questions. You're not paying me to sit there, but you're paying Renee to be there.
And she
That
said
would
village-
maybe,
I need to be there.
She said
Okay.
village people. Well, yeah.
Yeah, right, right.
Cause I've already had my hours in by Thursday.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Which is also not necessarily a long-term solution.
No, true. Okay. Discussion only. Can we be done?
Yeah.
Thank you all. 58, yeah, we definitely killed it. 58, discussion and or action on site plan review. Project number 202-60116, Mountain Bay Metro Police Department and Municipal Court Facility, 3600 Community Center Drive.
Move to approve the site plan, architectural elevation and exterior building design for the Mountain Bay Metro Police Department and Municipal Court Facility located at 3600 Community Center Drive. For the Plan Commission recommendation and subject to all the staff condition and outstanding technical requirement as identified by village staff in the final review.
Motion by Zagami,
Second.
second by Clark. Any more discussion? Go ahead. The price sitting right now is,
It's not gone out to bid, so we do not know. We only have estimates.
I mean, it could be, it's, right now, what has been approved is 7 million. 65% Weston, 35% Rothschild, correct?
The Mountain Bay Metro Board has said they want to stay within the 7 million all in
Yep,
for the
all in
building.
done. Yep.
So once it goes to bid, we will know more hard numbers, but the Mountain Bay Metro on Thursday is gonna talk, if it does come back more than 7 million, what our potential options or next steps
There's a
are.
lot of discussion out there on payment of it back. And the loan is from the 2 communities, but in the budget, yes, it's taxpayer money. But it wasn't done on the EPD side, but on the Mountain Bay side, we decided that it would come back out of that budget and go back to the two communities over time. So
What is that term time?
with over 30?
It's probably 30 to 40.
Yeah, 30 to 40 years.
I don't think we could.
Plays out.
But it's never been paid back. I don't want to be wrong. It's never been, the EMPD never did that. They never paid for that building. So this is something different that Mountain Bay, the board has decided to do with your budget. So.
And they're using parts of the old building. They've already reduced the size of the building, and this should help with the longevity of the cars because we'll have the garage.
Correct. Okay. Did you have something?
I do, just a comment, I think, we should be doing more, to get this out in front of the public. I think there is opposition to it and there will always be, but, I feel like we are not doing anything to put this out in front of the public and answer questions, about why this is necessary. I think if we've spent a lot of time or a lot of meetings engaging the public in pedestrian paths and bike paths and things like that, which is great, but I think this should be getting that same kind of attention where we should be having meetings to invite the public in to answer their questions and address their concerns.
I think would that point be, once we have the approvals, I mean, not, you don't want to get ahead of the approvals, but.
Once it goes out to bid and we know whether or not the dollar amount is
Yeah.
achievable.
Yeah. Okay.
And I guess I would always be happy to host those here. I would think the chief would organize some of that or would say the dates that were available. So there would be that police presence as part
Oh,
of that.
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
But we are always open to having that
Yep.
here or doing it jointly with Rothschild.
Rothschild do the same thing.
I just personally think that it's a little bit premature right now because we don't know what the bid is going to be. And it very well could not happen if the bid is too high, or there's gonna be a lot of readjustments to it that
Right.
I just don't wanna put the cart in front of the horse, and it's on oversight every month. So anybody can come to those meetings and ask questions or sit there and public comment, and there isn't a lot of people that are coming. I know that people wanna put a lot of things online or say a lot of things online, but sometimes they have to come ask the question face to face, get their answer.
A good point though, too. Yeah. Okay. No more discussion. All those in, go ahead.
I guess I just want to make a comment because it always bothers me. When you were talking about, joining the department, the one question I asked at that time was the facilities adequate by going to Rothschild? And I was told yes. And about a year later, I heard a year or two that we had purchased property for a new building. And it just really irritates me because that was the question I asked.
I'll take that all on myself. I was not communicating that. I thought that building would be sufficient too, but over time, I'm gonna tell you, this is nothing but a success story, period. It's incredible that it actually happened with the merger or bringing it together. And it's a valid point, Barb. I remember when I told you, you were quite surprised. I know who Shane was too. But it's necessary and moving towards the future with, where this location is. Yeah. It just is where it is, but if you wanna throw some blame anywhere, I'll definitely take it all. No. Let's just get that out there because I wanna do that.
But
I was not
asked the chief
communicating
that
and,
as
yeah, but it was on me. I was on the board and I'm the vice president on here with Dan. But before that, it was Dan, Mortensen. So Jamie several times asked me, I should be relaying this to the board. I thought it was just a little too new. I'm still learning, so that's where we are. Okay?
Direction,
I'm sorry.
we
Yeah.
never talked about direction on fees.
On what?
Review fees and permit fees. So currently, I did not charge for any of our review fees for site plan review. And then there will be permit fees for building. Normally, we would charge building permit fees. So in the past, I guess, at times we've waived things for the school district. I don't know what your feelings are.
What did we do on this building?
We didn't charge ourselves,
Okay.
but there's
there's 35% of this is Rothschild.
Involved, that's the only thing.
No,
where I-
it's us and Rothschild, that's it. The other
So
two,
there's a percentage.
yeah, there's a 65% is ours and 35 is Rothschild. The town of Weston and the city of Schofield are both EDLP. They're not owners, they're contracts.
So do you want us to keep track of the fees so then it can be discussed later?
That's a board decision. Katrina?
So I guess my thought on that is I would not, because we are currently habitating in that building out of Rothschild for zero expense, is that right? They're not
Correct.
charging us.
Yeah,
They're charging us rent to be in the building that we're
I
in.
think it would be,
Correct.
It was always the thought at Rothschild, and to your point, Bart, it was all, Rothschild owns all those homes around that building, on that corner. And it was always our thought to, in fact, we had an architect come in, the one that actually did the original building there. And we were gonna expand that whole thing, for the police department. And it came in the millions and millions of dollars, and we're thought, okay, it's just like our municipal building here. We would have spent $7 to $10 million having that old building ADA compliant, a whole new garage. I mean, we'd have basically torn the whole thing down and rebuilt it, which actually we were gonna do in the beginning, until we realized that this property was open and it was a clean build and a clean move. And then we could sell that, and we got about $600,000 for that. So, and we'll get it back on the tax roll. So that really was the whole end result with the police, that we would have spent millions of dollars for that and still been there. With the river on one side and then left and right to get anywhere. Then our next choice was actually where Krieger Wholesale was. We were looking at that corner, thinking that that'd be a great corner to respond to different things. And I'll tell you, at the end, it came to the highway. The highway was everything, and Camp Phillips. It was huge, and the parcel was open, and we actually got it pretty cheap. When I look at I've had other landowners call us and call staff about their land. Why wasn't their land looked at? I know there's a building out by Weston Dental. That's $1.5 million, I think, and that would have it completely redone. It's only half the size, not nearly the space. But this is where we are. Okay. I'm sorry. You call a question?
No, I
Oh, shoot. All right, go ahead. Comment?
I do call the question.
I don't know. Go ahead.
We cut a lot of part of this project to bring the cost down. And I was involved in every bit of it, and we tried very hard. But we're dragging this project continuously. And we're gonna bid the project at worst time of the year. People fill up their schedule at January, not at June and July. Everybody got their projects. Hospital put the project out for $250 million, $258 million. So don't be surprised if the price goes higher and we waste all our time cutting this part, cutting the garage, cutting this, doing the parking ourselves, or doing all kind of things in there to bring the cost down.
So we didn't want to micromanage the project, and we didn't want to get into some of the things, but I think it was getting close to $11 million. And we finally just said as a board, 7 million, that's it. 7 million, make it work. Told the architects that, told everybody that, this is where we're gonna be. And we got there, so I'm pretty pleased with how that all went. So, and to be honest, we were on the EMPD side, we were paying I think our percentage is 76%. And Schofield and the town of Weston were the rest. And close in that range. And to have a 65-35, and that was really, that came from Rothschild. I thought that was a really nice partnership move on their side. But we also did a lot of partnership move too. We moved out of our building, we moved it over to Rothschild. We did a lot of things to make this work. And I think it's been incredible. I think the morale of the department is second to none. Don't take that wrong, you guys, but it's a great deal. I didn't mean it that way, so. But they are good, yeah, so.
But did we settle the issue on if we're gonna hold on to the fees for now and decide later, or we're just deciding?
Well, I heard Jen say she wasn't gonna charge us. I mean, that's what I heard. I mean, I don't know what anybody else heard. I think she wants some pizzas and a lunch and maybe some fruit. But are you not even listening, Jen? Come on, you gotta smile a little bit. I think the board is gonna decide whether we do or don't, and.
It certainly could be added to the motion.
Yeah, okay, what's that?
I just want direction.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, we could always just keep track of it and make a decision when we find out how much.
I mean,
money
we're charging
talking.
ourselves, you know.
Otherwise, we're talking about an unknown number, which
Yeah.
how do you make a decision based on an unknown
Yeah,
number?
and they have not been charging us. Also,
Yeah.
what's that?
I wouldn't charge.
Okay.
Did we charge a fee for this building?
No,
No,
we did not charge ourselves.
That's no different. That's.
I know, but her point was 30,
For
but we're 100%. So her point was 35% of this building is on Rothschild, but they're not charging us right now.
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah.
So I amend my motion not to charge him for the.
I didn't have it in there. There wasn't, the plan commission didn't. I just want direction going.
Yep, okay.
So it doesn't need them. I guess.
So is an amendment appropriate or no?
I guess I can go either way. I thought amendment was nice because it just puts it into the.
That's fine.
Okay, so you're gonna make an amendment?
I will amend my motion to not to charge for review fee and the permit.
And who's in the second?
Trustee Clark.
I did.
Clark, okay. You're gonna also second that? Okay, so moving forward on the amendment only, all those in favor say aye.
I,
Opposed?
No.
No, one no. So one no. So carried. Now on the original, motion with the amendment included, all those in favor say aye.
I,
Opposed? No, Ermeling, no on both counts. Okay, so passed. Let's see. 59, discussion and or action on address corrections to ensure compliance with Village and Marathon County E911 addressing standards. A 5915 Delikowski Street, B 3913 and 3917 Ross Avenue, and C 2211 Radke Street. Need a motion? Moved by Clark, second by Olson. On anything on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
I,
Opposed? So carried. 60, discussion and or action on raise order request for 4104 Shorey Avenue.
What we have here before you is a request for the raise order at said address for the principal structure. In 2020, a special assessment was filed with the village for the sale of the property. Upon inspecting the premises, it was discovered that the house was uninhabitable. And the structure was posted for not fit for human habitation on August 27th, 2020. During the investigation process, it was found that the house had been vacant since 2008. And the garbage carts had been removed from the tax 2014.
14.
In 2024, we received a complaint regarding a light on in the structure. It turned out it was actually a large chicken coop for the farm that is there. So we had sent code enforcement letters and informing the new owners that the house needed to be raised. We actually conducted a site visits with Safer to see if we could do it as a practice burn for them. Ultimately, the structures was completely failing and they didn't feel it was going to be a safe training exercise. So what we are looking to do is accomplish one of our big tasks for this year and get the old farmhouse raised to this.
Get me in between two streets. On Shorey Avenue, get me in between two streets.
Camp Phillips Road
Yep.
and
Woodland.
Woodlands, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, I got it, okay.
It's the original Shorey family.
Yep.
Oh,
Bob
yeah, I
Shorey?
was just gonna ask that.
Bob Shorey, okay.
Cause I thought they were fixing that up there.
They have a farming operation there, the owners do, but the house was definitely beyond repair.
Okay,
Well, I thought they seen them put windows or something.
so we got a motion and a second on the
Plastic
floor?
over the windows, I think.
We have a motion and a second.
no.
We don't? Okay, we need a motion,
Make a motion.
by Clark,
I'll second.
second by Beck. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so carried. 61, discussion and or action regarding the Board of Trustees' interest in completing Clifton strengths assessments and training. What am I again?
A woo.
A woo, I'm a woo. Did you do the test?
Nope,
Okay, you need to do the test, that's pretty cool. I'm a woo.
that was me.
You were a woo too?
No,
Oh, okay.
Some of the board has completed this.
Yes. Yes, so new members have not, and, we should add it, yeah.
and
Well, I
it's,
did, but mine reverted back when I took it back
Oh,
and
okay.
I don't know what,
Yeah.
and it doesn't let me do it.
It was very interesting.
and it's how much to complete those of taxpayer dollars?
It would be less than $1,000. I think the book, we can get any place between $11 and $15 a piece, depending on what they're currently at Amazon, and then we would have someone come in and train through a process to talk about the board strengths, probably with the
Yeah, but
department.
that's with everybody. That's with everybody.
Yeah.
To do the initial assessment
It's
is
like
not-
$15.
It's $15 only. And that's all we've done so far.
And then do you have to attend a whole nother meeting? Cause
No.
I'm going to a lot of meetings,
No.
making a lot of notes.
It'll be another meeting if we did a training together, right? Just
Yeah, if
because
we
you
did
have
the
your
training.
strengths doesn't
Yeah.
mean like you know what everybody else's strengths are and how those work together. So we would have someone come in and.
For the 15 or 20 bucks, what I saw myself and I read more into it, I went online and looked at some stuff. I thought it was pretty interesting to do that part. Maybe that's what we do with the 3 members. And then we ask this question again. Let them at least see that and let you can pick apart how your 200 questions. Yeah, I don't know, I had 12 minutes left, I think, on mine.
So we can provide books.
Pretty cool.
The other piece would be your strengths, they don't really change. So if you have done it someplace else, you could send us your top 5 strengths and we could add it and that would save the cost of the book.
Yeah. Yeah, so why don't we do,
Have yours from a couple years.
why don't we do the initial test for the new board members and then move it to another meeting or another board night and talk about that.
I can provide the book to the new board
Sure.
members and then once we have all of them back, then we
Yeah.
would schedule it for
Okay.
another meeting. So it might not be the
Okay.
next one.
Is that okay, everybody? Wish? You're kind of quiet. Are you jet lagged? Yes. When did you get back?
Sad.
Oh, yeah, you definitely are. Yeah, you definitely are. Yeah. The day is Monday. Yeah. I'm just teasing. All right, so we're good? No action?
Oh, I didn't get it.
Okay. 63, discussion and or action on recycled asphalt base. Whoop.
You missed 62.
Yes, I did. 62, discussion and or action on amendments to chapter 5, job classification and compensation. Section 13, clothing and equipment allowance, and chapter 10, behavior and conduct. Section 1, appearance of employee personnel policies and procedures handbook in coordination with the Cintas uniform contract. Do we still have that contract?
Michael, do you want to start? Because we met with them this week.
Sure.
I think that was, yes, it was. No, today's Monday, last week.
Last week, Friday, we met with Cintas, kind of went over, I guess, some of the areas that we felt the current relationship was being deficient. And our contract does expire August 1st. I guess after talking with our rep, the sales manager, he's willing to at least extend it for a couple more months. They want to implement some changes. Realistically, I brought this to the finance HR committee because our staff was having some gripes with the service that we were getting. And then we also were having quite a few billing back and forth issues. And it was becoming I don't want to say a weekly exercise, but it felt like a weekly exercise to try to track down, like, did this pair of pants get turned in? Did that shirt actually get damaged? You know, where are we at here? So initially I was thinking, okay, let's try to just scrap the rigmarole of going back and forth with a uniform company and have the staff just get reimbursed an equivalent amount, and so we'd increase the reimbursement amount, and then they're able to buy the shirts, the pants that they want, and it'd be a done deal. There'd be no change to the budget. Through the HR finance committee, that got changed a little bit, where then we were looking at reducing the amount. So currently staff gets $300, then also the uniform contract, which averages out to about $300 an employee. So the initial proposal was the $600. Since those meetings, where I think the final recommendation from finance HR was to go to $400 an employee, but then also look at buying a washer and dryer. I've had a couple other staff now express some concerns. One is the mechanic staff. They currently do get coveralls and some kind of additional clothing that the other staff members don't have or don't use on a regular basis because they're not in the grease as much. And then, washing their stuff is something that they would be, they do see the benefit of that over the other staff. Also, if staff were to go buy shirts, would we be requiring them to put logos on them? If we do require them to put logos on them, is that at their cost? Is that the village's cost? Are we trying to create more of a store that they could buy through versus them buying their apparel? And then another question I got is, can they have a hybrid option? Can we just say this X dollars is allocated, and whether you want to use a uniform rental company or just be reimbursed, that's up to you. You get so much per year and here you go. So to be perfectly honest, I don't know if I know what I want to do right now or what staff wants, so we might just sit where we're at and.
The window of getting out of a contract, especially with this or like waste management, is monster. It is something that you don't want to let that window go.
No.
And if they let you do a couple months or whatever, I wouldn't go there. If you have an opportunity to get out of this contract and get out of it, and then you'll be in a much better spot to bargain with them or others. Now, if you like Cintas, that's fine. I have actually never worked with a uniform company that went well, ever.
Yeah.
Ever. So I'm just telling you, never. And to get out of them, you can't. It's impossible. And that window, you gotta read that fine print. And if they're willing to do a few more months, be very careful on those few months on what you're signing. Very careful.
Yeah, I'm not signing anything right now.
I know, but then you also gotta watch that window of open too, so.
So the Finance and Human Resource Committee spent a great deal of time on
Yeah,
this.
I imagine.
Probably
I
one of the
imagine.
most in-depth discussions I've seen since I've been on the committee.
I think it was like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we were 100% voted in favor of getting rid of the contract, but then obviously there were a lot of different thoughts and discussion about what we should then do with the same thing. What we're gonna do with the equipment, all the clothing, all those types of things. My thought process would be if we want to get out of the contract, maybe the board takes action on that tonight, but if, Mike's not 100% sure yet what he's asking for, and the committee put so much work into this, I would think with these new considerations, we send this back to the committee and let them re-look at their decision and see if a lot of there's a lot of items of consideration change where they're at with it, and then potentially come back to the board.
I agree.
Yeah, because there is the question of, I mean, we talked about, well, what if they're out there and all of a sudden they get tar or whatever all over their blue jeans and there's no, well, something like that you look at and say, we'll replace it, I mean, and that's some of the discussion, and I have suggested the washer and dryer because I know when my husband worked at warehouses, they didn't have that. And he would come with this, he was a mechanic there, millwright. And I mean, his clothes were terrible. And then they finally put in a washer and dryer and that, I mean, they paid for their own clothes. I mean, it wasn't, but I mean, that was just really great because he didn't bring all that garbage home, I mean,
Well,
I had to clean my machine all the time.
If it's a mandatory uniform, then we have to pay for it.
Right.
If that's what we're requiring. I mean, I've been in a few of the washer and dryer situations and it's always gonna be a dual purpose. If it's rags or aprons, that everybody can wear everybody's, but not uniforms, then that's what we had our washer and dryer there for. It's the bakery at 29 Super. That thing was running constantly. And to replace that was nothing, compared to having it on a contract. And we had tons of rags, tons of aprons, tons of, anybody could use that stuff. I don't know if, other than rags, I doubt if there's really anything here.
No,
Nobody's gonna wanna put on somebody else's clothes, so, yeah.
Can we,
Definitely go to the committee though.
yeah, I was gonna say, can we make a
Just be
move
done.
to send it
Yep.
back to committee?
Yep, done.
But do we wanna work on, like you said, the contract? Do we wanna look at the contract now?
I think send it back to them.
And work so we don't miss a window?
Yep. Yeah, okay, so we're good. So nothing needs.
You've noted it's December.
Okay, 63, yes, discussion interaction on recycled asphalt base course production quotes. It's your pleasure.
I move to award the 2026 recycling asphalt crushing project to King Gravel Inc. for the unit price of $4.23 per ton for an estimated project total of $126,900.
Motion by Zagami,
Second.
second by Clark. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. 64, discussion and or action on sanitary sewer discharge violation fees. Is this putting too much produce on your garbage disposal?
This is more, clear water discharges in the sewer system, so we didn't maybe have the same, extent that some of our neighboring communities had where they had, some overages or had additional people they're hiring to pump, but our,
Some pumps to the curb.
some pumps
Yeah.
to the sanitary sewer,
Yeah.
which then let our lift stations to pump more and
Sure.
burns out motors faster, and then inevitably we pay more to remote metro for our waste discharge, so.
Okay.
So,
So, go ahead.
I move to direct staff to pay for $100 a day for utility customers failing to remove pump clear water discharges into their sanitary sewer line after being properly notified.
Motion by Ermeling, second by Clark. Question by Zagami.
How are we gonna identify that's not gray water?
Well,
If it is coming out of a sump pump,
I mean, visually you'll see it.
that's a
Yeah.
possible and it's clear. But if they discharge something else in there, that become gray water, it's contaminated.
yeah, I guess so we want them to disconnect the sump pump discharge from the sanitary sewer. Gray water, you're talking like hand washed water, somewhat clear, but it is truly sanitary water.
Right.
Yeah, usually when you put the sink on and you wash your hands, it's on and off and it's not when we're televising these laterals, you can see and you can park the camera just upstream and you can watch it shoot out for 3 minutes at a very high flow rate and then turn off and then generally turn right back on in a few minutes.
So pump.
So it's pumping.
Some pump, I got
It's
you.
pumping
I got you.
and then it stops. Then it's pumping, it stops. Like if it's just your normal sink and you're washing your hands, that's a trickle out of a lateral versus forcible water coming out of there.
But are you actually doing camera surveillance or are you watching something above ground? To be able to send somebody a notice.
Yeah.
And then we're getting this notice from Rib Mountain Sanitary District and they're actually able to say, hey, Weston, you got too much clear. Hey, Schofield, you got too much clear.
Well,
I mean, we have different valves or something or different tubes? What?
So there is gauging stations, so we get metered
Wow.
daily by them.
Okay.
And they can tell where it's coming from and
Okay.
they only have so much capacity, so yeah.
Okay.
Yes, they do know where it's
Have we
coming
been
from.
fined? Have we been fined yet?
We haven't been fined, but our bills go up, so
I see.
Rib Mountain Metro, instead of,
In essence.
in essence, we're paying more.
It's good to do it because
No, it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. Yeah.
you gotta make sure what we're doing is right.
Okay. All right. Did we not? So any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I took a guess. That's where we were. 65, discussion and interaction on a water sewer connection agreement for 2230 Radke Avenue. Motion?
You wanna make a motion and then discuss it or?
Yeah, let's get it on the floor.
Okay. I'll move to authorize the staff to enter into the agreement with the property owner of the 2230 Radke Avenue to temporarily connect to the water and sewer main on Radke Avenue and then to assess the cost of the main extension when Radke Avenue is reconstructed in the next 2 or 3 years.
Motion by Zagami,
Second.
second by Beck. On the discussion?
Just question the time, 2 or 3 years, which one? I
Well,
think one,
so I guess I didn't want to lock us into a set year and say 2028, and then in a year or two, the village board says, oh, we want to make the Radke Ave project 2029. And if we have an agreement that says 2028, and we go and tell the landowner, hey, here's your assessment, and they go, my assessment was based on you doing this in 28, and you're doing it in 29 now. I guess I didn't want them to have an out to say, you guys don't get to assess me anymore because you waited too long to connect the mains. So I guess it's in the CIP as a 2029 project. If we want to say 2029, that's probably okay, but if for some unforeseen reason it became a 2030 project, I wouldn't want us to be have an agreement that has a set date. Whereas, I mean, the board controls it, yes, that road needs to be reconstructed.
So we're a year out now, because we could be 28, 29.
Yeah.
Or no, excuse me.
We're about 2 years out.
Yeah, so you're thinking that it could hesitate and go to 29, 30, then we'd be in a little jam.
Yeah, I don't know, I guess from our side, I mean, usually
Wanna give yourself-
you want the other side to be
Right, you wanna give
definitive.
yourself a little more cushion and go to 30?
That's fine, yeah.
So that'd be all right,
Move it
but
to 30.
these are asbestos pipe, right?
It is, yes.
So we trying to get some grant money.
Right. Okay. So we have a motion and a second on the floor. You'll move that to 30? Do you need that in the motion?
I mean, yeah, if you want it to be 2030, I can just put that in there.
Okay.
I amend the motion, change the time to
30?
So I guess, just so you know, on page 331, the first sentence there is at such a time in the future when Radke Ave is reconstructed and water and sewer mains are extended north, they're agreeing to connect to it, so I guess I don't have a year in there.
So we're fine.
Yeah, so that's how it is worded right now, it's just at such a certain
So
time.
no amendment needed. No more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Discussion and or action on intergovernmental agreement for military road construction. Mrs. Rothschild?
Correct, yeah.
I move to recommend the village board approve the agreement with the village of Rothschild for construction of military road from Volkman Street to Evelyn Street, which allocates an initial bid price of $94,860 to the village of Weston for water and sanitary sewer work.
Yeah, really good, wasn't it? Good job. So we have a motion by Lopes Ferrero, second by Clark. Hearing no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Discussion and or action on construction services proposals for the Alderson and Jelnik intersection project. Roundabout. 2 lane, 3 lane, how many? Oh, just one, okay, I okay, so motion out there, anybody?
Move to approve hiring MSA professional service to be the on-site construction representative for the Alderson Street and Jelnik Avenue project based on the time and material.
Okay.
Contract with the initial estimated site cost of $87,315.
Motion by Zagami,
I'll second.
second by Clark. Any discussion? Yes.
Just real quick, and that's because we don't have staff to be over there, so we have to
Handle it,
hire
yeah.
somebody.
Yes.
And this is gonna be a real quick one. We're gonna pound this out this summer.
We better be
School
making
starts,
a
yeah, no
big
kidding.
quick one.
Yeah.
I'm right down the road.
Yeah.
Get that sucker done as quick as can be.
I think that's a pretty good price.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, the Beck roundabout. Okay, just have it like a little flower garden or something in there.
Mhm.
We're approved by it. All right, so any more discussion?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I talked to Jamie earlier today, so thank you for giving me half this already. So our engineering technician position was approved for hire by the board on July 21st of 2025. Jamie had said they posted the position right away. Shortly after that, they didn't get any apps. There was part-time help last summer, and then it was posted again here just a couple of weeks ago. Is there a reason it wasn't posted from August through April?
I think a variety of reasons. I think we wanted to wait to see if there was someone that was moving through schooling and maybe was getting towards the end of schooling. And then the holidays through the Christmas season and the New Year season, it's also not necessarily prime construction time. So I don't know if Michael wants to add any other items to that.
Yeah, I guess we advertised it through September of last year. And then I guess we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. We did have 18 applicants. I guess that's what I was alluding to earlier, though, like they weren't. I guess these are the eyes and ears of our staff or the hired staff out on site to make sure that these, $1 million projects get built correctly. So we gotta make sure it's the right person that we're hiring for this job. And then, yeah, I guess we didn't have that in the first round through. And then, to be perfectly honest, kind of got caught up in getting everything designed and bid and everything else, and we have it back out there now and trying to find that person, but you know, one of the individuals from MSA will be coming up from Marshfield every day for their project. And then, you know, there's one person at Clark Dietz who has some time to do the work for us. I guess that's the next agenda item, but it is a tough role. And I know even, like I said earlier, the local engineering firms this is a tough one for them to try to find somebody to fulfill. It's kind of a niche target. And, you know, we want the CAD, the design background, so that they can help during the winter months with that part, and then also be on site. You know, perhaps it's more of trying to find an entry-level engineer and just know that this might be somebody who uses this as a stepping stone and they're here for 2-3 years, and then we're gonna be grabbing another one.
Again, yeah.
Versus
What is onboarding and what is, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think you need somebody at least minimum 5 years experience.
That's the hard
on
part.
construction out there. Because you know the result of the rookie guy out there, what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And you can't have that. You can't be out there all the time babysitting. If you wanna have an inspector, you gotta be competent, you gotta be trusted, so you can tell him loose to do the project for you. If you can't do that, and you have to pay him higher price. You can't pay him what somebody could do. No, so.
Are we comfortable taking from others? I mean, private firms?
Well,
Or are we not?
to be perfectly honest, we were trying to woo a person from another organization who eventually said, no, I'm staying where I'm at.
Okay.
Um,
Well, then it's still a compliment and then go back at it a couple weeks or a month later.
So just to finish, I guess I agree with Husheng and Mike. We want the right person. I just don't know how we would be able to hopefully keep looking for that right person if the position's not even posted. And looking at item 67, this one's 37,315. Blado Lab is number 68, going to be $73,730. So total, we're going to pay $111,000.45 for a job that we're posting with a salary range of 59,000 to 67,000. Now, we maybe wouldn't have gotten the right person if we had, you know, like we said, we got 18 and they all weren't what we needed, but it wasn't posted for months. And we could have missed the right person. So I really struggle with spending $111,000 to pay outside people to do work. We might have been able to do ourselves. A position was out there waiting for that right person to see it and then put that application in.
We have an engineer on staff right now.
Yeah, so we hired Ike, so.
What's the salary?
Can
we say that or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say between, it's like 98 maybe.
Yeah, it's probably just shy of 100.
And how many years' experience did he have?
I think 10 plus,
Okay.
over 10 years.
So he came from private.
He came from private.
Offer him a $5,000 bonus to find somebody.
Why is this position so low?
I mean, oh yeah, we gotta go up.
Yeah,
there's no doubt.
so that's the difference between having a professional engineer and I guess a technician out there. So a technician is somebody who's got generally a 2-year degree. And they're, how do I want to phrase it? You're on site watching, you know, kind of overseeing the work, making sure it's being done correctly. But if something comes up, they're generally not the one saying, hey, they're there to flag it and say, Michael, Ike, come take a look at this. I don't think it's being done correctly. So the decision authority is fairly low, but it's on site and knowing when to say, I think somebody else needs to take a look at this.
So if we look at this and we say, okay, well, maybe in a year and a half or so, we don't have the projects. Is this a position that we could contract out to another municipality and still keep that person?
Potentially, yeah.
I mean, you know, just thinking outside of the box, you know, that we got enough work to do, and if we don't, can we, you know, source them out to neighboring community?
They still would do the GIS items.
Okay, good.
And we'd still have a design aspect, you know, helping with putting contracts together, some of the more administrative type of things that.
Okay.
I guess, you know,
Well,
Trust me, I would love to have a couple of these people on staff right now.
But we're talking about a personnel issue and 67 is about this, the project,
Yep.
right? So, I mean, not you, but all of us have kind of side affect this, so.
Well, it's a personnel issue because he had put in the RFC that because we don't have this position, we need to hire somebody.
Mhm.
So that's why it went back, in my opinion, to
Yeah.
that position.
Okay.
Because we don't have it and it wasn't posted.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second on the floor. Right. So any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
One no or two no's? Just one, okay, so 6-1 pass with Olson name. 68, discussion and interaction on construction services proposals for the Bladel Avenue reconstruction project. What's your pleasure?
I move to approve hiring Clerk Dietz to be the on-site construction representative for the Bladel Ave project based on their proposal with a time and materials contract with an initial estimated on-site cost of $73,730.
Motion by Clark. Second by Zagami. Any more in the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
A 6-1 approval with Olson abstaining or saying no. Thank you, everybody. Attorney referrals, I don't believe you have any, correct? Yeah, none? There's no attorney referral, no, okay. Any administrator referrals, anybody? Remarks from trustees, Luis? No, right? Lisa?
I always have something.
Okay.
Do we have, just circling back to a question I had early on, the ballpark lighting, like a cost, like, I think we had talked that we would turn them on, let them run for an hour or two and turn them off to see what that electrical would cost.
We did put together a cost estimate based on
Oh, it was?
WPS's calculations
Okay.
as far as our usage would be.
Okay.
And we estimated that the lights would be on approximately max 30 days throughout the season. We didn't think that, once you get into summer, it's light out until you're playing baseball at 8 or 9 o'clock and it's still light out. So you don't necessarily need the lights. So we used 30 days as a max amount of time the lights would be on. And we used it 3 times this spring, but then it was getting dark at 4 o'clock too, 4:30, so it was just to get them through the rest of the games.
So, but
Did we have a number?
No, we don't, do we have enough?
Yeah, do we have a number?
It was literally like $6 for 4 hours.
Okay.
Very low.
Yeah.
It's the base rate that you pay that makes your yearly cost so high.
Okay.
It's not the actual usage because it's all LEDs too. It's not,
Oh, yeah, that would change.
I mean, if you cost estimate it as halogens or low pressure sodium, whoa,
Plus replacement and all that.
way up, yes, way up.
Yeah, LEDs are much less.
It probably was put together for park agenda in March, probably, I think.
A couple months.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I have one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
When do we have to go talk about the safer issue again? That was on the voting and it was voted down to cover for staff. Do we bring that back and have that discussion again? Because I feel like, is that something we need to?
No, we've kind of been talking about that. Yep.
So at this moment, Safer Board has had a conversation about it, but I think the next step would be Safer Board having the conversation about what would they like to see? Because I don't know if they'd like to see the 3 or the 6 that's how we worked it last time with the referendum too. Safer proposed the 6, then it went to Rib Mountain because they don't need to go to the referendum. They approved and then we took through with the referendum. So I guess the question back would be
Safer Board.
to Safer Board, what are they asking for? So we can match a referendum question with what the need is that they would be.
Okay, so just to clarify, so we need to get clarification from chief.
Yep.
And what he thinks and staff thinks. But then we would go to referendum again, or we would talk about it prior to budgeting to see if that's budgeting that we would supply.
So probably a little bit of both. It's gonna depend on timing because if we go to referendum, we have to have the resolution approved into the clerk 70 days before the election. And you could do that in August or November, right? So November,
August or November.
August or November.
Oh, or November?
Yeah, you could do it in
Yeah.
August.
But August is gonna expire pretty quick. So.
Yeah, you're close to your 70 days. You are correct. So you're gonna have some big pieces of budget probably, you know, put together by that period of time, but you would have your current numbers for net new construction and levy for next year. So it's just kind of putting together the pieces of the puzzle if that's the way we want it to proceed. But could we work it into budget depending, depending on what the ask is?
That was me. Thank you.
Nothing? Hushain? Nothing, Barb?
Just, I wanna compliment the businesses in the area for their different fundraisers for the Rico tornado. I happened to go into Ace Hardware today and they had a lockup check for what was it, 46,000 something?
It keeps
that-
moving.
that
I saw it
they
at
raised
42,
for-
yeah.
Okay, maybe it was 42, I couldn't.
No, it probably went up,
okay,
yeah.
But it was for their cookout.
Do you see that line of people?
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, that.
People were donating and not even taking the food.
Right, well, and I,
That was pretty cool.
you know, that, but I just wanted to compliment everybody that.
Well, I mean, there's stuff on billboards. I know Jim has some stuff up there too. And it's very neighborhood. It just, you know, it's sad that something like that brings, you know, people together, but it does. You know, it just, people are very, very helpful. So very, very
Just
helpful.
that one business page.
I know, that's great. That's fantastic.
Oh.
I don't have, I also don't have anything. I like some of the new direction we're doing. I like some of the direction from the trustees on the reports from their respective committees. The applications and stuff like that, getting more engagement, more involved. I think that's fantastic. So, and we're talking on the park too. It's needed, and now the police building should jump on that too. A lot of good stuff happening, a lot of great stuff happening down there, so. It's exciting, so neat stuff. Yeah, that's all I got. Future items, next meeting dates, Monday, June 1st, 2026 at 6 p.m. Board of Plan Commission Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee meeting. And then Monday, June 15th, 2026 at 6 p.m. for our board of trustee meeting. And then what do we have? June 5th? Is the 15th, is that
That's the
Board
board of
review.
review thing.
so what is our
Board of review starts at 2:00. I apologize.
2 o'clock? Okay.
2 o'clock.
And then the same day, 6 o'clock for the third Monday.
Or is
Third
both.
Monday, okay, got it.
Put it in this notice, right?
I will.
Looking for a motion to adjourn, Brent?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I Beck, a second by Olson, okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No, so carried. 8:32, we are adjourned.
Okay, that.
Good job, everybody.